Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 for Double KO Radio Post Evolution. This is David. I'm here with my host Poe.
Co-host Poe. Hi everybody, welcome back.
In case we're laughing,
No, don't worry about why we're laughing. Just keep it going. It'll be a mystery
at the end of this podcast.
This way, maybe somebody will hit us up on social media and be like, "What were you guys laughing about?"
Guys, so definitely a hectic weekend. You guys know we were covering evolution, so now we're here to tell you a lot of information about that. And we're gonna start it with some missing information that we didn't have prior of evolution. So for Dragon Ball Z fighters, we didn't know what was the prices. We didn't know what was gonna be entitled of. We know it was a free tournament, but we didn't know what was gonna be
there were two 128-man tournaments for Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Mm-hmm.
One Friday, one Saturday, and each one of them had prizes for grand prize, second place, and third place.
Single eliminations too. So that
was
like
single?
Single elimination.
What?
There's no run back.
That I had no idea.
No run back.
Wow.
Every match counted. You could see the pressure, like, oh my god, I almost died, and then
I heard a lot of like old school Japanese tournaments were like that.
Single elimination.
Single, yeah.
You gotta hold that L forever.
Just gotta hold it. That's it.
So every mistake, and that's when we got the one of the famous comeback that they have for Maximilian, that he did that. He was gonna lose. He was gonna get out of the tournament, and he came back with a super. That was hype.
So what were the prizes?
So prizes we had for first player.
Third place.
Third place was just some swag, I will call it. It's just that they didn't specify a type of swag.
Bandai Namco swag?
Yeah, because the second one and the first one was actually out of nowhere. The Microsoft was like, hey, here you go, guys. Give this as a prize.
Please play it in our system.
Please. Which is awesome, right? First place get an Xbox One.
But what was second place?
First from the top. And
but you just said, I kicked you off with third place.
So second place was a controller for Xbox. For Xbox One. Was a wireless controller for Xbox One. Which is great, right? We're looking at about $60, $65.
Yeah.
But the first place was an Xbox One.
That's
which is
pretty
great.
good.
It would be great if it was like engraved with like something about it.
Remember EVO? Not EVO.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It was this weekend.
It was this weekend. You remember that Comic-Con we went to, and we went to a Capcom panel, and it was basically Ono picked out two people from the crowd. One of them was the guy next to me, because he got up on his chair, literally got up on his chair, started jumping up and down. And me and David like kind of raised our hands, but we were like kind of pussies with our arm raising. And then he basically like passed, like he looked at us.
He graced it.
He looked into our souls and then gave it to the guy that was super hype. And that kid ended up winning a PS4.
Custom PS4 with Street Fighter, like a faceplate on it.
This guy was soulless all day, and I had to deal with him.
Hell yes! He was in my grasp! And they were so garbage, too.
Well, the Ryu kid that won, he was actually pretty decent at the time.
Yeah,
it's just the guy he beat was just...
And the
thing is, he was the first guy that Ono picked because they said anybody that is actually good at the game, because of course they're gonna be recording the gameplay and all that stuff.
Garbage.
So that dude was like, "Fuck yeah!"
I'm the guy.
He just got up right away.
I'm Ryu.
Like if he beat his chest, stood up top of a mountain, and then like he gets destroyed. I don't know. I don't remember who that kid was,
but it would be like that if it was the Xbox engraved with a Dragon Ball, even if it was just the symbol of the fourth Dragon Ball, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would be super amazing. That would be
like a skin. Even if it was a skin.
Insane. A sticker they just got for another booth around the corner in EVO.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was at least some of the stuff that we didn't know about.
Also, about the bar fight stuff, some of the stuff for bar fights, like, I had mentioned that there were exhibitions. I didn't know they were one and the same. Like, the exhibitions were for bar fights. Like, Smug was facing I'm Still the Daddy in a 1st to 10. That was actually a bar fights thing. There was actually a Wednesday Night Fights team versus Next Level Battle Circuit team fight. I don't know the results of that.
Me neither. The Jives versus
Jives
Combo.
versus Combo Fiend was one too.
I couldn't find footage.
Me either. I tried to hit up Lord Gutex on Twitter. He didn't respond. But you know what they do usually is they usually put it on their website for
on
money.
their own channel. Yeah, on their own channel.
For money first if you want the stuff right away, or you just wait.
Which is good.
To get it for free.
Yeah, because it wasn't exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Literally was, it's a party for them. You have to
but,
travel.
I actually saw somebody recorded footage of the Smug and I'm Still the Daddy one.
And somebody did in real life stream.
Yeah.
That's what we saw.
So the results for, in case anybody was wondering, the results for I'm Still the Daddy and Smug was 10-1 Smug. Which I was kind of thinking it would be around that bad because one, Smug has more achievements in actual tournaments like this year, like recently and all that stuff. And he has a good matchup against the Guile. This Balrog Guile is actually a bad matchup for Balrog. Well, I mean, the other way around. Balrog apparently is like something that's a problem for Guile. So
something's I know that also surprising because of how he did also on EVO. On pools.
Who was Smug? Well, I mean, that's the biggest tournament in the year. There's variables that are bound to happen. There's just so many people.
True.
It's an endurance test basically. Like who can endure winning, for hours on end.
And it was also like think about it. Nerves could be a bad matchup.
Well, if anything, people make fun of Balrog's nerf
all the time.
It's just 25 health. That was it. That's his nerf. That's it.
Well, he needs it, because
apparently he needed it.
He needs it because he hits you so hard, it hurts.
He didn't make top 8 or top 16 or anything like that. So.
He didn't. Talking about tops, did we anybody that was top in this games from EVO, was it also part of the exhibition match?
What do you mean?
Like anybody that did this grudge match?
Well, I don't know. I don't even know who. All I know is for the team Wednesday night fights and the team next level battle circuit, that the captain was Vaya for Wednesday night fights and and I forgot the other guy's name. Henry Sen, I think. For next level battle circuit, and then the teams, I don't know how long the team were, how many people.
There, we don't know. It's closed doors.
Yeah, we'd have to be there. Next time we just gotta be there.
That's a reason. There you go. No,
also, before I had mentioned that Street Fighter V Top 8 was gonna be streamed. Well, not streamed, televised in ESPN2. Actually, also in. Disney XD, Smash Brothers Wii U, and Street Fighter V Top 8 was being aired.
There?
Yeah.
Like if didn't have enough viewers already in Twitch.
Oh, now they're getting all those little kids. And it's funny because I mentioned that to Vanessa. And she was confused. And I was like, well, there's kind of a correlation there.
Yeah.
Disney owns Marvel. Capcom's making a Capcom vs. Marvel game. And there's a Capcom game that's...
Street Fighter character.
Yeah. There's there's a way in there. There's a reason. There's a connection. We had mentioned last time that Capcom had a panel. They actually, as we were streaming our show, they announced that they had canceled the panel
because they heard us.
Yeah, they heard us.
And they were like, "Nope, we're not doing this.
We're making these guys." Inaccurate.
Maximilian didn't have his panel either, right?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything. I don't think he did
because there's no, at least correct. Not only I couldn't find anything, I didn't saw anything, and I was very actively looking in multiple channels. Didn't saw no news in any other gaming news about it, anything. Have
you donated to him?
No.
Lately? Well, now you know why you're not in the loop.
I'm not part of the Illuminati circle.
You got anything else?
No, that will be it at least from missing information.
All right, so next part of the show will be rounding up EVO Grand Finals. We're not going to do the small side tournaments, the anime tournaments or anything like that. Just the main games.
Yeah.
So for Friday, the The only game that had its final was KOF 14, and in the grand final was Huomoa ET. I can't say the name.
Wow. I thought you were having a stroke right now, and I look concerned.
Help me out here. Who am I?
Hamlet.
Huamao ET versus Kwamba X
ET is not like
Dao
that.
Xiao Yai. So ET versus Xiao Hai.
Yes.
So before this, recently, like probably the week of EVO, like
the pre-EVO, like they call it pre-EVO.
they announced that there was going to be an extra 14K added to the pot.
Out of nowhere.
Yes, just
Out of
fucking
nowhere.
just fuck everybody else. You know, like that didn't make it.
Yep.
Here's money for you guys that registered for it. So Shanghai in Twitter, he was boasting about how it's going to be easy money for him.
Well, he's okay to say that, you know? If
Yes,
you're confident, he's
absolutely.
extremely
He's
great at this
been
game.
destroying everybody
Yes.
in KOF 14.
Literally destroying, yes.
But turns out he didn't win.
He didn't.
And
won.
when he didn't win, you could see it in his face.
He was literally his hand.
destroyed.
Yeah. But think about it. It's a lot of, it's a lot of money for something that you're very confident that you can win. And it literally feels like somebody was like, no, this is mine.
Yeah.
It's like when you get a check and the IRS comes and be like, hey, let me get my money. No, for real. Think about it. You're so confident. Yeah, I'm going to get this money. Easy. There's nobody that can beat me. I've been successfully winning all these extra tournaments on my hometown, everywhere else.
Yeah.
And I'm going to here in the biggest stage and lose?
The ET guy, too, he was actually... he was up 2-0. It was looking like it was going to be pretty free. And then Xiaohai came back, made it 2-2. Yeah. But the way Xiaohai came back, it felt like... The guy looked really nervous. ET looked nervous because he looked like, oh, fuck, I'm downloaded.
Yep.
I'm going to get reset. And,
He's
and then he's just going to steamroll me. Like maybe something that happened, in another grand final. But we'll get to that later. And it's looking really bad for him in the last round. This is like for me, it's one of the hypest last rounds of a grand final in E3.
The last round was ridiculous.
The last round
was ridiculous.
He's down. The hype part is like he's down already from the beginning. Then he uses Diamond to even it up.
Yeah, which is a big body on top of.
Yeah, he's a big grappler character, obscure kind of character in the scene is what I hear too. Like he's kind of
this one specifically.
Yeah, in this one, so he's down and then he manages to beat the next character, which I think was Benimaru, with a decent amount of health left.
And time too, because in this game, if you beat him fast enough, you recover even more health.
Oh, wow.
So that was on his favor.
Yeah, so it kind of felt like it was even. It was like, almost. All right, he evened it out kind of. He's got one-on-one. This is the last character for each person. And then he gets hit. He gets hit twice by Yori, and those combos were enough to be like, well, I mean, I guess he's going to reset.
And he was in a corner.
Yes, and he cornered him. Yeah. He was down on life. He came at him, and this man popped his grab. That's one of the hypers in the in the game because he fucking Goro is a character that it kind of has like the Brock Lee thing.
Yep.
Where the way he's drawn out, his eyes are always at a squint. This move. He fucking opens his eyes.
And then he slams the floor.
And he slams the shit out of the floor. And like half the dude's life goes away. So they're back at neutral. And then he fucking hits him with another like a level 1 super. And I wasn't used to like how much damage that does. But the announcers were already used to it. Because they knew it was over as it was happening. And it was amazing. It was an amazing finish.
Everything was against his odds too. Because the character he's fighting, which is Orochi, was crossing him up in all the other matches because he's so big. His hitbox was so he was in a disadvantage, and he got this lucky hit just to get that super. And once he did that super, everybody was like, "That's it, it's done.
Yeah.
Wrap it up."
I can't even imagine how stressful that would be, because being the guy who's winning, I'm not even talking about the guy who's losing. Being the guy who's winning has to be just as stressful because it's like, holy crap, he just evened stuff up. The whole crowd is going nuts. Yeah. I just gotta.
The floor is shaking from the screens.
I just gotta make sure it not crack, and then he got hit.
I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't have. He got up. So ET got up the moment he did the super, whatever. He got up and he was celebrating. Something I would never do, ever. I will make sure it says KO.
Yeah.
Then do that because that happened in the last year EVO on Guilty Gear.
Oh, with Guilty Gear, yeah.
And
that was amazing.
Horrible. No, it was horrible for him.
No,
amazing,
but it was
for what
amazing.
happened.
It was amazing. Like it literally from that day forth, that man has changed.
Yes.
No
so,
matter.
A real quick recap. They're playing almost the same scenario. A top contender, playing versus a underdog, and the underdog seems to be winning. And he did a special move that normally would have killed him. And he got up and he was celebrating with his hands up, and he didn't kill him. So the contender champion, he literally destroyed him like in 4 hits. Not even joking. 4 hits, Power Blast Super, and then he beat him. And he was like, distressed, done.
And
you can see his face.
And
like,
then he basically lost EVO because of
yes.
that, right? Wow. That is
but he did it. I guess he knew more than the other guys.
So. Yo, and then you gotta go back home and face your friends.
Face your dog and tell him why you can't buy him
your
food.
dog's gonna give you that look and you're like, oh man, my dog knows I did something stupid.
Like why do that? Nah. But he did it, so I was scared when he did. I was like, oh no, what happened?
Yeah.
And okay, he won.
If
I do that, I'll unplug both controllers just in case I come back. Just in case I come back, nobody's hitting me. But yeah, that was great. Great showing for KOF2. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, it was
boring.
It was definitely small in numbers, but the skill level is so high that the community itself knows how hard it is to do certain.
I like the crowd. The crowd was reacting, and that's one of the things that always gets me. If the crowd is reacting to what is happening, even if there's people that know about the game, and there's also people that don't know about the game. They're just spectating. Yeah. Maybe they're waiting for their next game, and they're just watching this game, and it seems the crowd was involved. The crowd looked like it was the main set grand finals, And
so I guess you're always hyped to watch Melee then.
I didn't watch it this time.
No, I'm just saying because they're like that. Literally the hypest crowd I've ever heard.
Because don't get me started. When we get to Melee.
Anyway, so the next one on Saturday was Guilty Gear Revelator 2.
Yes.
And that was I think that was one of the top 8s that was all Japanese, right?
Top 8 in grand finals.
Yeah. Also, of course, if top 8's Japanese.
Well, yes.
At the end, there's just gonna be a Japanese versus Japanese.
A substitute.
So this was against Omito versus Tomo, but on the screen it said T5
This
M5.
is our Kappa.
Well, that's his sponsor, our Kappa, T5 M5 Tomo or whatever. Tomo was using Leo Whitefang coming from Losers. Omito was using Johnny, and it was I would say it's probably the least hyped grand finals.
It was because of how steamroll it was. And Omito, also I heard, if I said it right, he didn't lost. Until he got he didn't lost.
Well, he lost one round.
Yeah, no. Like I said,
he didn't lose a set all tournament. That's how you gotta do it, man.
That's impressive. That's impressive because the people you're playing are, of course, the people that know the game. There's no new entries, I believe. I don't think there was no new entries.
I'm sure. I think there was a lot of Japanese.
Yeah, correct.
A lot
of
foreigners.
Maybe people that they know already the game, and he did everything he did in pools, he did in finals. So he just steamrolled his way. He had one game that he lost, and then that's it. And then he destroyed.
Honestly, I have a feeling that there were 2 Americans in this top 8.
You think so?
I think so.
American that lives in Japan.
So it doesn't count.
Correct. I do have to say something about that grand finals though. Great victory for Omito. It seemed fantastic, and it seems like they know each other also. Their fight style or something like that. They were reading each other some of the hits. But there was an announcer in that match. There was an announcer that I can't fully remember his name. Majin something and
Majin Obama.
There you go. Thank you. So it seems the guy was very hyped through the whole time. He didn't have like a filter on it. So when he got to the grand finals, he was already done. He sounded like he was barking,
his voice was gone.
Completely done. His voice was completely done, and his co-host was definitely trying to help him out in everything he was saying. But it just sounded very bad. It sounded like I thought I had audio problems because it sounded so muffled, but it was his voice. It sounded very bad, and I'm gonna blame it on the hype. But he was saying a lot of things that were not part of like what was happening. He said some, and I quote here. He said, these two know each other very intimately." Intimately, and there was a pause there because everybody. The
co-host was probably like,
what happened here? And
where's this going? Where's this going?
And he continued. He said other stuff afterwards, the end of the match, and he seemed angry, happy at the same time. There was a lot of emotions.
You showed me that. It was a big, just like, what is this? This guy needs to get out of the, like, he's too,
like, I was more
like the hype, like, pop something in his brain.
You never go full hype. You never go full hype.
He went full hype. Somebody needs to like go, all right, buddy. That's
yes, and it got to the point that I was more interested in what was happening with him than what was actually happening in the match.
Yeah.
Because he was very distracted.
The crowd was really hyped too.
Yeah, of course.
Because
I guess they were hearing the commentator talking. But yeah, that was the only thing I was like, very awkward, the commentator base in that. But everything else seemed fine. It was very short too. It was like a 10-minute grand final.
Yeah, dude, it's 4 games, and it was like every round was like.
Every round was less than a minute.
20 seconds each.
Like easy.
So next up is Injustice 2. That was also for Saturday, top 8 finals, and this is the first time Injustice is in EVO. Well, this game.
Well, after
Injustice
2 years, it's in second. This is the second time that Injustice is.
Dude, it just released.
No, but was Injustice last year also?
No.
Correct. So it was a year that they were.
No, but this game.
Okay.
This game.
Specific
This
game,
is the first
Injustice
year
2. Yes.
Yeah. And grand finals was Noble Dragon versus Honeybee coming out of losers.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like Honeybee was actually somebody I used to look into in MKX because he was a Devore main.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was trying to be Devore, I would look into his videos, see how he plays, see what I could get from that stuff. So I was kind of invested in him to try and win it all. You know?
Do you think he looks solid?
Yeah. And he had hype flash moments.
Before, so I guess in grand finals, yes. Before
Yeah.
grand finals, so in top 8, when he fought Samij,
Yeah.
and then he fought, which was the person that took out Sonic Fox. But when he fought him, he didn't seem very, at least in my perspective, he didn't seem very sturdy, very confident in the things that he was doing. It was more like he would get away with some of the stuff that was happening based on the character. Yeah, he had a Superman versus Catwoman. And I'm gonna be honest, and maybe it's me, but it's not happening. If he would have fought Sonic Fox, he wouldn't have won. He wouldn't have won. He wouldn't have won because Sonic Fox definitely exploit people that don't have a sturdy gameplay. If you don't have a 100% sturdy gameplay, like everything is to the T, you're gonna lose against Sonic Fox. And that's the reason Sonic Fox lost, because there was no opening, there was no mistake done when he fought Samij. So everything got better, you know.
It's funny too because I literally tuned into that as on that match, the Samij versus Sonic Fox. I was shocked.
That looked like shocked. A grand final.
That did. But I was shocked that he actually won. I was like, wow.
And not that he actually won. He won very convincing. There wasn't like, oh, well, he got away with that.
Yeah.
And you could see it on Sonic Fox's face that this is not taken away from the champion. You know, champion is the champion, but Sonic Fox was the champion, right? For Injustice before?
Yeah.
No, and for MK also.
Yeah.
And
he was very dominant in those 2 games, yeah.
And in this one, you could see in his face that he was like, wow, I just got
I got
body
fucking destroyed.
What happened? You know, and it would be good. He probably wants the run back. I'm pretty sure he will want the run back. And I don't know. It's just I didn't saw that same type of event unfolding when it was in grand finals.
Yeah. Well, the guy he lost to too is actually a kid that, from what the commentators said, was somebody that was actually getting to Sonic Fox's level to the point where he was beating Sonic Fox towards the end of MKX. And this is the first time he's actually picking up Injustice as a game.
That's huge, dang. Going to second on EVO. That's huge. Yeah, there was a meme picture.
There was a funny quote, too, that... I don't know how close to a quote it was, but pretty much Sonic Fox said this is the first EVO he's lost. That is ridiculous to say.
That's like Zero. When Zero lost that first Smash.
Yeah.
After winning all those 60, 30, whatever.
But I think probably at this point, they're both really dominant, but I think Zero's a little bit more dominant.
No, of course, more history, but the age type, the age gap and everything, But yeah, that's very confident. First EVO he lost, so that's a good thing. That means that there's people invested in the game to get to this level, you know?
Yeah.
So that's great. Definitely, that's definitely. I was saying there's a meme that says everybody after EVO in the Injustice lobby, and you see a bunch of little Flash cosplays, because everybody now, you know how it happens. Everybody wants to be EVO. That's the character everybody wants to be, which was pretty cool. A little bit underwhelming, but it was cool.
Well, I think for me, it was more hype than I expected because honestly, I don't like watching the game.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not a fan of.
Well, can you say you were more entertained than when it was with Sonic Fox playing? Crazy stuff was happening.
I mean, it didn't matter. The matches didn't matter. I was just surprised every match I saw. I wasn't like bored out of my mind.
Okay, so that's good for you because you were bored of the game.
Yeah.
Hate it.
No, no.
I had to throw it out there.
So next game.
How much was the price pool? Sorry for that one. I know you mentioned it on the last podcast. I just can't remember.
I don't remember the numbers for that. Did I have it on my phone? Where's my
Probably
phone?
was.
I don't think I have the price for.
If we find it, we'll get back to that. But
It's probably like 17K.
7, right? Yeah,
I think it was 17K, something like that.
It's a lot of money, dude.
Well, I mean, you know, it's
for a company too. But then it's for a company too. You know, like NetherRealm has so much.
Yeah. Oh, and I have Street Fighters.
Nobody cares about that one.
So Super Smash Brothers Melee was the last game. Was the last game on Saturday. It was against Alliance Armada versus C9 Mango, and this one was pretty much like everybody expected Armada to win
all the time.
And since he was there and he was in winners,
so might as well give him the money.
And Mango's always the underdog apparently.
But he always loses, so that's not the underdog anymore. That's just the loser.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to shit on him, but when you always end up with the same person. And you then, always lose, then might as well just...
And then, you know, beforehand, Armada was... I think he had made a video on YouTube or something saying something about... Apparently, at first, he wasn't even going to EVO and talking about... It just felt like...
That's a cap-out, bro.
It just feels like... Why do I want this guy to win?
If you're complaining about it.
This guy didn't even want to be here.
Armada seemed happy at winning again.
Yeah.
He seemed very happy.
When he won, he seemed,
I won again.
Yeah, I won again.
You saw the Mewtwo King versus Hungry Fox?
No, I didn't. What happened there?
So great veterans players, and Hungry Fox just body Mewtwo King. I think he took one stock, but then everything else was completely overwhelming for Mewtwo King, and he seemed so distressed, soulless when he won. He grabbed his controller, he was looking down. I think he even had his eyes closed as he walked out of the stage.
Bro, to be honest, I think you could make a compilation on him being
salty,
soulless,
yeah.
Like his soul being taken from a game. Yeah, I think people could make like at least like a 3-minute compilation of Mewtwo King being soulless.
How is this guy not EVO champion?
Who?
Mewtwo King.
There's people better than him.
But he spends time playing this game.
So do other people.
Come on, man.
He's like amazing.
But then he falls short.
Bro, it's like an anime where you get introduced to overpowered people in the episode 1, and then by episode 26, you're like, how were they this weak?
When you go to tournament arc, to the tournament arc, they get bodied. Yeah, but he was very, very soulless. I felt bad for him, and then I didn't. But
I mean, if he's placed in top 8, he's still getting some money, right?
But he's lost his respect.
Nah, he's alright. He's alright.
You think they're gonna have it again, Millie? Next EVO?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the numbers were still good, even though they were lower than the year before.
Numbers were ridiculous. Views were ridiculous.
Yeah, views.
The crowd was ridiculous.
Always. That crowd is always...
The comments, everything was super ridiculous about
Melee is like a cult. Like, it feels like they're not even like... You can't call them like any kind of community. They're like...
But what's going to happen? Is it going to... People, our station are going to cater to this old technology and all?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Until there's like... absolutely no way of getting CRT monitors.
Until the Switch releases it, right?
Or
anyway,
until the Switch decides to release it. Why didn't they bring?
You know how much money they will make?
All of it. They would make all of the money. What do you mean? How much money? They put Melee in there. They would make all of the money.
How much is all of the money?
All of everything. Everything.
That's no legit. They would. Look, if you have 100, whatever, 17K people watching your game.
Yeah.
Somebody up there, even if you split that in half, it's still so much.
And out of all those people, it's not, a lot of those aren't some kid's mother or some kid's uncle just going, I'll get this for the kid.
Oh, let me see, what is this game?
Those are the hardcore people that'll 100% sell that shit out for months.
Immediately.
Come on, Nintendo.
No.
Come on, Nintendo. Hurry up. Bring it out for the Switch.
Maybe they'll do some crappy stuff that they change it and people don't play it or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, this guy's, like, just frame so-and-so move isn't exactly the same. Yep. So I'm going to stick to the old one.
That's right. So what other grand final we got?
UMBC 3.
Yes, that was on Friday.
First one, top 8 Sunday morning.
Yes. So I didn't get to see it live, obviously.
Yeah, you were working. I was at home, so
I saw a replay,
I got to watch it.
Yo, my phone was exploding that day, bro.
Ryan LV, Splice Ryan LV versus NY Chris G. Chris G coming out of losers. Ryan LV actually was the one to put Chris G in losers, I believe.
I can't remember.
And I don't think Ryan LV lost that weekend. Yeah.
No, correct.
He didn't lose. He didn't lose because honestly, he's coming from winners, winning grand final, so he didn't lose. He was actually favored to win, even though Chris G, I think, has been winning over him recently in past tournaments, like within the last couple months. But he was still like one of the two, either Chris G or him.
PC Marvel God, bro. You saw him?
Who?
PC Marvel God?
No. He was bonding people.
He was really,
I'm like, who is this guy?
Really good.
Yeah.
Like his name fit. You know, people with God, whenever they get body.
Oh, this Marvel
low tier God. So
yes,
correct. So this guy literally was. I was like, I thought that guy was gonna win.
Yeah.
Dude, PC Marvel God playing incredible, flawless, like literally flawless. Everything he was doing was great. But then again, it's Marvel, right? One mistake, and that'll be the end of it.
So basically what happened in that grand final was Chris was down 0-2. So Ryan was pretty much, a game away from winning. Chris brings it back 2-2. Mm-hmm. And then he got Dark Phoenix out at the end and Ryan won.
But to be... The second match of that was timeout. The second match of that was like... Chris G was winning. Ryan got enough the upper hand that he had Phoenix.
Yeah.
And he had X Factor, so he couldn't get close. And then he just timed him up.
Yeah.
Chris G even let the controller let go because he knew already that it was gonna be done. And then after that match, the third one wasn't following through. It was literally an infinite. He did 2 infinite. He did Chun-Li infinite, which looked ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then he switched it up to Morrigan infinite. He looked too clean.
Yeah.
He looked way too clean. And think about it. He's doing this to the EVO champion of last year.
Yeah.
He's not doing this to a runner-up or anything. And it looked very convincing, man.
So
the third match was when Chris G came back.
So basically, there's been a different Marvel champion every year. No repeats. That would have been the one. This would have been the last one to solidify Chris as undisputed Marvel God. But now he's probably still the best. They'll probably still put him in number 1, but there'll probably be arguments about who was the best at certain times or whatever.
Well, yeah, based on how many times he won, how many tournaments he won, consistently for over months. But then you lose the final race.
Yeah.
That drops you off. And there's no runbacks. Like I said in the other, there's no runbacks. So you gotta hold.
I want you real quick because I was looking at the pools, right?
Okay.
Of this tournament. I want you to take yourself back 3-4 years to when we were playing, right?
Okay.
I want you to imagine all the people that were playing back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you these 4 names that didn't make it out of pools. You ready?
Go ahead.
Marn. Cloud 805.
He still plays?
He's still alive, yes.
Wow.
Marlin Pie. And PR Balrog. Now, I know obviously they're not playing the game anymore seriously, but that's just crazy that these people that were so high up didn't even make it out of their pool.
I think I know why though.
They don't play. What do you mean?
No, not even if they don't play, right? Marvel got to the point that they evolved, literally evolved. Chun-Li in grand finals. When previous years, what do we used to see? Mostly same. Nova, Spencer, Magneto, obviously, Morrigan Doom. Chun-Li?
Well, she's backed
I'm not saying
by,
she's bad. I'm saying
but she's backed up by Morgan and Dark Phoenix.
yes, but to be honest, the ones that did the most work was still Chun-Li.
Yeah.
Chun-Li was the one that put the work. She wasn't just a running around until I get enough level to do Dark Phoenix. No, but as a matter of fact, Ryan he used Dark Phoenix the least. He would use the super of Phoenix just to be in defense or the shield for healing. That was another one. Chris D was trying to kill her, but because she had the healing on her, it was enough that the X Factor ran out. It was crazy. But he knew already. He set up for that. He prepared. And Chun-Li was the one putting in the work. Chun-Li was the one taking Morrigan out of the air. And you would not see that, dude. If when Justin won the championship, you didn't saw it. Chun-Li there couldn't work, you know? It was a Wolverine, Storm, whatever.
Funny quote that I'm going to change a little the way he said it, but Donka basically said Marvel 3 starts and ends with a white guy winning EVO with Phoenix.
Oh my god. This can. They said they said something about low crouching because Chris G did a teleport with Virgil and Ryan was doing crouching light kick and it hit him because it autocorrects and it shows fire or whatever. And somebody commented something around about that I laugh internally because I know what they meant. Yeah. But they say, oh, it happens again or something. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. But I'm not gonna give him the victory for Phoenix because it wasn't every match. Okay, we got to Dark Phoenix, which it means is that you got bodied with your first two characters and you just rely on that one. He wasn't that. Dude.
No, he was on point. Yeah, I remember seeing him a couple years ago and thinking, wow, this is a smart, just concept of a team. Like, cause he was doing well, but he wasn't like winning or anything like that back then when I saw him. And it's cool to see his progression. Like honestly, like you know the gods didn't catch up to wherever Marvel went to because they
got stuck there.
But you know, this kid was still playing. A lot of Midwest people were still playing as well, and they leveled up. And he definitely earned that.
And it's harder when it's the end of life of the game to be able to develop yourself so much like that because who plays? Who wants to play? People already have old habits that they don't get away with that. So how you evolve from that? You know, evolve. Oh, I did that.
Oh, evolution.
Yeah. And I definitely saw his Chun-Li getting work, which I'm happy to see. I will be happy to look forward to see him in MVCI if he plays it because Chun-Li looks strong in that game.
Her walk looks not so
more
strong.
Stronger. Because that's why she's so strong. She has to walk gravity.
Oh, now people will try not to go in at her because she's so ugly.
No, she got her nose. Oh,
I don't know about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Cause I don't know. Maybe my eyesight's not as good as yours. The guy that wears glasses.
You don't want to see what I saw in my glasses.
All right, so next up is Blaze Blue. I actually enjoyed watching this one. This was against Ryusei from Japan. This was the one that was definitely all top 8 Japan. Ryusei from Japan using Carl Clover. And they kept calling him Fenrich. But his name is different. But on the screen it said Fenridi, so I was confused. I don't know the back story on that one. He was coming from losers using Jin, right? So basically Fenrich went up 2-0. And then Ryusei came back, won a game, and one of them was actually kind of hyped because they did like a timeout thing. Like he knew he was getting timed out, and one of them started teabagging, so the other one started teabagging. Like it was just kind of like a, yeah, whatever. I know I lost that one already. Just keep it moving.
Hurry up.
So Fen actually ended up resetting the first set of matches, and then he was getting good momentum because like he'd win round with just 1 HP. Yeah. He perfected him around, but at the end Ryusei just ended up taking over.
Yeah. Especially he did really good setups too with Carl Glover too, like with the puppet he was doing and you might think okay I've seen it all the time. But you in grand finals, you were so nervous that little mistake might be able to.
Lore wise, how much do you think of a chance does that little boy have on winning a tournament with all those other real
So
other characters?
Jin Kurosagi,
Oh, no,
he's
here
the
we
one
go.
that he's Hakumen with his sword. But his puppet was given by his dad, which is a very powerful puppet. So now him. Okay, you awake?
Sorry, I started getting these flashes of turning into a weebo.
It was good. It was good. I'm really, and it's just all these are build up, right? Because at the end of that grand final, what did they do? You know, they show some stuff, and which we're gonna talk about later. And it just motivates me. If this is once again at the end of life of another game, and this is the type of performance we get, what is gonna be next? You know, and then they do what we're gonna look forward for now, which is gonna.
I'm surprised at this stage that they would still announce a new character. It's crazy.
But it's a character they want to do. We're going to get to
yeah,
that.
We're getting to
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Tekken 7. And I completely...
That was crazy.
I was angrily with my arms folded. You know, like how you are when PR Rock loses? As soon as...
I didn't even saw him. Not even once. But go ahead.
I'll find footage for you.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
it's not of him losing.
Body.
So as soon as Knee lost, I was just upset. But I was just like, oh, whatever. Let me just keep watching. JDCR honestly didn't want to win because he was so heavily favored to win, but he was facing off against Saint, his Echo Fox teammate that won last year. So because the guy won last year, of course I'm going to want the new guy to win this year.
That's correct.
So JDCR...
It'll be a collusion. It'll be kind of a collusion type of thing.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
So they had to give their all when they fought them.
Yeah, it's funny too because they actually, those two guys... When they're at a tournament, they're like, we get that we're teammates, but we're still
fighting for a prize.
We're still like competitors at the end of the day. And when they're at a tournament, they don't really talk to one another.
They even did a rock paper scissors thing. I don't know if you noticed.
Well, yeah. But then at most they say hi and bye or whatever, but they stay away from each other during the tournament. I think that's really cool.
I think that's very professional.
Yeah.
In respect. I respect your skill so much that you are my rival.
Yeah.
You know, and that's fantastic. That's some anime stuff, bro.
It is. And they don't really, I don't think they play each other as much as people would think. They more theorize. They do a lot of theory about what to do in the game and they put it to practice like later on when they get time to play.
So maybe they think alike. Yeah. That's what you're saying. So they think alike, and then that's why they got similar results that would look like, they know already what they're gonna do to each other.
Yeah, but Saint also, what's it called? He admitted that he's the one that's asking more questions than JDCR.
That's fine. I enjoyed it.
But yeah, JDCR.
So before we have Aris as a commentator.
Yes.
Which was with Mark from. Is his name Mark? That he used to work for a second?
Markman,
yeah, he was there, which is great. I think the commentator was on point. The commentating was good.
Those guys are excellent.
They were great.
And Markman had his sexy little samurai top knot on.
They don't have it in the game, by the way, that top knot. The hairstyle.
Not till Ganryu comes out.
Gotcha.
Whoop, whoop. Ganryu.
Okay.
Let's go.
But yeah, I definitely enjoyed the commentating a lot. They were saying a lot of, like you mentioned, they look like more... like two training buddies fighting instead of just, strangers.
But honestly, you could tell at the end of the set that JDCR won, yes. Right? But honestly, if you really pay attention to his body language after the match, he was shaking. He was shaking and he was trying not to cry. He was like ecstatic that he can put himself up there as an EVO champion.
But how about this? He won, but he was fighting a Jack on grand finals.
Yeah.
Everybody talk about all this crap about Jack, and I always see him in tops. Always.
Yeah.
Literally, there hasn't been a top I haven't seen.
There's like, from what Tekken people are saying, there's definitely a tier list, but for the game, the tiers are so crunched up that they feel like almost any character can.
Doesn't that make a great game?
Yes.
That makes a fantastic game.
Like, the balance is so good that you can... a lot of people, too, it's like, because of... We'll get into the Tekken X... This is going into the realm of the future podcast. But since I had to be forced to learn the game through, like, YouTube and stuff, because the game doesn't really teach you that much stuff, like, a lot of people say just, pick a character you enjoy, because there are tiers in this, And it's crazy too because I'm looking at the tier list and I'm like SS and all the way down to C. What the fuck is this? Damn, these guys are garbage. And then I'm hearing the guys talk and they're like, no, it's just these guys have a little bit more tools, a little bit more damage output, a little bit more damage output like at the wall or something. It's like little things like that, but you can still win with the other characters. So it just takes a different kind of work ethic to get that character to work.
So it feels rewarding how much time you put into the game.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like because that's what I saw. At least that's what I saw in this grand finals. I saw that these two guys really put as much time as they could. That's why when JDR changed to Dragunov, so he was losing.
Yeah.
He was losing. Jag was destroying Heihachi. Destroying him. And then he changed to Dragunov, and that was a downhill from there, dude. When JDR just steamrolled him after that.
Yeah, because JDCR was down 2.
Yeah.
And then he... Wait a minute. No, Sane was... Yeah, Sane was up 2.
Yeah,
And then he reset it, and then JDCR destroyed him in the first game. And I think... Saint ended up getting 1 win, but he won 3-1 in the last.
Yeah, perfect.
But they were like... They were convincing
perfects
wins.
and very... And
it was still entertaining, even though like it was still entertaining because it was like a lot of it was like how he was getting it with like low parries and shit like that.
There was a point he was with Jack.
He low parried for the win.
He did, and but there was a part with Jack 5. He had him in the corner to Heihachi, and Jack has a special move that can kill you one hit, which is he swing his arm. So he had him enough in the corner, and he started doing it, and JDCR dodged. Just on the split second of getting hit, I was like, "You got hit. That's it.
Yeah,
you got hit."
There it is.
And he was like, "What?" He whiffed, and then the commentator was saying that this game is not about blocking; it's about dodging.
Yeah.
And if you know how to dodge in this game, then you don't have to block. And I think that's fantastic because it means that if you are dodging, you're attacking.
Yeah.
If you're blocking, you're not attacking.
Yeah, because technically you have moves that lead into the dodge, like specific, like extra moves you get as opposed to like the regular ones.
That's correct. Instead of the side step or anything. Yeah. Yep. And I was like, wow, these guys are insane. Great grand finals. I love it.
It was a fun grand final, but Tekken, it looks fun.
It does.
Honestly, like before when I was playing Tekken Tag 2, I only played it for a week. I thought the game felt really good. I liked the game.
Broken.
But for some reason, I just stopped playing. And then when I was watching it on streams, I just didn't find interest in watching it.
It looked very repetitive.
So now all these little things that they changed to cater to the spectator really helped the game.
And it feels like it's a fresh new start. Like I keep saying, like this Tekken feels like having new faces. It just feels like a fresh new start. Even if people still use their old characters. They're facing up against newcomers, so it still gives that essence of a fresh new start for the game. And I like it. And all these supers and all this extra stuff just looks nice. Looks nice. I like it.
Next up is Super Smash Bros. Wii U. TSM 0 versus MVG Salem. Salem was coming from losers. So automatically, statistically, everybody's going to think he's going to lose.
Because he's playing who?
0.
Which is how many?
Statistically, they I think they said it on that stream. Against the top players in that game, he has like a 70-something% win rate, and that's technically low for 0. That it was like a couple years ago when he was even more dominant. Yeah.
Because we can definitely say, and we're stepping out a little bit out of it, but 0 is the most dominant Smash player.
I think he's one of the... If he keeps going the way he's going for a couple more years, he's going to be the most dominant competitive fighting game player ever.
That's insane.
In his field.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. And so, coming from losers to fight that guy.
From losers, because I'm over here thinking, like, even when Salem took... And it was really, really close, because it went 2-3, and it was really close, except the last game, he 2-stock 0. That was one of those, like, wow, he got really good momentum off of this. And he ended up winning resetting the bracket. And I'm like, okay, well, he reset the bracket, but he has to beat him again. 3 times. That is fucking impossible almost.
And Zero only needs to do is just beat three times, and that's it.
Yeah. And it's funny, too, because he literally beat him at the end off of some stuff that would get other people in other communities mad, because it's off of, like, kind of a robbery, but it was still hype because he was down. He was down. What was the percentage?
It was 136%.
No, he was 101%.
101, sorry.
And Zero was at 0%
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
to start the last stock for both characters. And then
he hit him twice to 26%, and then that was it.
Yeah, like to like 35%, and then he carried him up to the top.
So
he carried him, yeah. And then he beat him. I was like, yo,
That's some Bayo stuff. It's Bayonetta, man.
As much as long as that fucking grand finals was, the end was worth it. Like, cause it was like almost 40 minutes of a grand final for that damn game.
It really was. I was really happy for him that he won. I was not really happy how the community was saying about because of Bayo. You know, community sometimes is very toxic.
This community is very. They think about tiers too much because it's very matchup based. The game,
yeah.
Because the way it was made, there's so many characters in it that, and Sakurai didn't make this for competitive gamers. Right? He made it for fun.
So put that in.
There's gonna be hard counters in the game all over the place.
Yep.
So there's definitely that. So there's like a thing within that community that just makes them think about tiers all the time. There's so many top players. This is the current tier. This is the current meta. And they do this like 3-4 times a year. They like change up stuff around because of how the meta is changing. And it is one, I get it, that Bayonetta's strong. But it's not like Diddy Kong isn't strong because he's still... Like, just like how Jack 7 is winning, he can't be that low on the tier list if somebody keeps winning with that character.
That's correct. And also take consideration the person that he was playing against.
Yes.
Which is Zero, once again. You know, so I definitely was legit. I was definitely happy. When I saw him that he was just basking into the win, and then he raised his fist, I was like, wow, that's awesome, you know.
It still took work.
Yeah. No, of course it did, dude. It went to 2-3. At the end, 3-2 at the end of the match, but I'm happy because it's convincing for him. At least this is good for him. You know, it's moving forward. You beat the best of the best on the biggest tournament ever, and everybody saw you do it. So that's great for you. You know,
and it almost feels like he just had a character that can deal with how safe Zero makes himself with Diddy Kong, because she can.
Zero has. I'm gonna try to find the time frame of the replay for the grand finals. In that 2-3 match on the grand final, Zero recovered from something he was supposed to lose. He recovered with Diddy Kong with something that even the spectator was like, what happened there?
Yeah.
He literally came back all the way from the outside and he touched the wall on the bottom, but then he ended up...
Yeah, he zipped up, yeah.
And he looked insane. But once again, this is how expert this guy is, how master. And you beat this guy, that gives you kudos. It doesn't matter what character you have, it still gives you kudos,
Two sets in a row is the most impressive part about it. I don't see that.
And you saw him how he was still like not trying to get it to him because he has to be nerve-wracking, man. To keep that composure, it's great. It's great.
Because when you and I were playing Smash,
so fun game.
So many times that I've watched him be in a grand finals or anything like that, or even if he got put to losers, it was a big deal, huge deal if he gets put into losers. Yeah. There's nothing like that in any other fighting game other than maybe Sonic Fox. When you're like, oh shit, he's
dominant.
A loser. Yeah,
he lost a match. Are you sure his controller was plugged? Yeah, absolutely. And Nairo ended up 5th.
That's really good. We wanted him to win because he's awesome.
And now because he put so much also time for the game and he loves the game and for the community and all that stuff. I really wanted him. I wanted Fogo to win though. But great stuff for I keep calling him Salem.
Because you're Spanish. Very Spanish.
Yes.
Salem.
So what is his name?
Salem.
Isn't that like the witches? Where the witches are?
Kind of.
Witches of Salem?
Salem? Stuff like that.
Good job, dog. Congratulations on winning.
So, last one is Street Fighter V. And this is against PG Punk coming from winners and Echo Fox Tokido coming from losers. Now, Tokido was in losers because of Punk. That's the only person Tokido had lost to that weekend. And
American.
I heard they were also playing in casuals too, and Tokido was actually destroying Punk in casuals. So that might have had something to do with how the match went.
Could be 100%. Maybe he saw some stuff that he could adjust it.
Yeah, and also in an interview from Best of Five, Filipino champ actually he can boast and say that he picked the right person to win EVO, because when they asked him who he thinks has a good chance, he said, honestly, I was playing with Tokido, and he's kind of ridiculous right now. He has some stuff to show you guys.
He did show. But before you go to him, Filipino champ also show fantastic showing.
Filipino champ is the reason America lost EVO.
Oh my God! Because
Filipino champ.
I get you.
Filipino champ had twice put Tokido into a situation where he just needed a round to take him out of the tournament, and he couldn't do it. Tokido ended up and then he ended up. It was a ridiculous match. That was the closest match he had, because he went 3-1 with Knuckle Dew. He beat Itabashi. That one was close to it. He beat Itabashi 3-2, and he beat Kazunoko convincingly to get to Punk. He had a really it almost felt like
he was
the Tokido show because of how much we got to see him on stream. And then at Grand Finals, he pretty much showed it. It felt like he showed a kid how to play. Basically, he showed the kid the ropes.
He did. At least that's what I was telling you after it happened. It just shows the expertise in playing the game for so long, and not only playing it. You could put hours and hours. I'm pretty sure Punk puts many hours into this game, and he's fantastic. He's so skillful, but it's not just the hours, right? It's what you believe in the game. This guy loves games, fighting games, and he showed it. It's you fighting his pride. So you're not just fighting his character. It might sound corny, but you're fighting his pride. And this is what he's bringing.
And the character himself, Tokido. There's people that become their character.
Yes, like Pierre Balrog.
Yes, Pierre Balrog is Balrog. Snake Eyes is Zangief. Daigo's Ryu, Evil Ryu, whatever. Tokido is definitely Akuma.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
And when that character came out, it was a rough start, but he was stubborn enough to stick with the character till the character got a couple of buffs, and it's showing. And the thing is, I'm sure, even though Punk is and other people had other people in their radar, Tokido hasn't excelled enough this year that people will go, well, I gotta worry about Akuma because Tokido,
That's right.
And I don't know where this guy comes in.
Who plays Akuma, or
Snake Eyes, kind of.
Yeah, he did good showing of it, but it just looks world apart from Tokido, And I don't know if you remember, I was saying that Punk has been so dominant because, not to crap on the other people, the people they have played, they play the game how everybody else plays it. Tokido was showing a gameplay that nobody else was playing on that standard. Only Champ, because Champ is a mastermind playing. That's why I love seeing Champ playing. And I think that was the reason that match was so close. Those two guys they think so out of the box. And not to say that Punk plays in an auto mode. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do a setup, I'm going to do a 50-50, I got you, I'm going to do a grab thing, I got you. So everything is clean, but nothing out of the box.
Yeah, it feels like it's more like
systematic.
He's systematically breaking somebody down and he's playing on pro player tendencies, not just scrubby tendencies, but like the pro players and their tendencies. And like, let's say if he knows what a person's gonna do when, most likely because he plays so much, he's gonna do it, and he has a reaction time to get a optimal punish off of it most of the time. Actually,
that's the perfect way to explain it, to be honest, because it seems that's why he gets so many optimal counters. And you see his counters are ridiculous. He has killed people. You be like, he's dead. Yeah. Because you already know he's gonna do this, and I know everything I'm gonna do. But now with Tokido, man, he was using those V triggers or counters. He did Raging Demon on him. He was just destroying him.
He was doing. He made Punk look like how Punk was making everybody look like for months, which is just basically outclassed.
Absolutely.
And not only was he breaking him down, outplaying him, but mentally he broke him because he did that taunt combo when he was stunned to win a round. Something a Japanese player, doesn't need to do.
But it's a demoralizer. It's to look, I'm in sole control that this is what I'm doing to you.
And he stunned him at the end of another round. Did he need to do a raging demon? No, but he just popped it.
And everybody went nuts.
And everybody was going nuts. And you could see it in Punk's face. He was nervous. And certain things, like, he was flustered.
He got one round after that. But he's still like that. Sorry to cut you, but he was still like that. Like, he got one round, but he still... Then the tidal wave of Tokido came and just...
Yeah, it was too much. It was too... I don't know. And it was a really emotional ending because... Because whether or not, like, it would have been America's, like what, like everybody's saying, it was America's biggest chance for getting an EVO win. Mm-hmm. Because not since Ricky Ortiz in 2010 has an American come out of winners, and there were 2 Americans in winners and 1 American in losers. And I'm pretty sure, but the thing is, like, he's an 18-year-old kid, and there's all that pressure. There's like a whole country is rooting for you.
Yes.
And then you're seeing 1 American drop, and then another American drop, and you're the last hope. And then you know what happened back then, recently, when this guy fucking destroyed you, and he's the one that you got to face, and he's still doing the same stuff that he did to you, like on a casual setup, and it's a lot to take. Like, that's honestly, like, I remember I did the prediction. That's honestly one of the reasons I didn't put him to win, because. That is such a grand stage that I don't think he'd be ready for his first time around.
Remember what I mentioned to you also on the other podcast? Like, he has won these tournaments, but at the end of the day, when it's up close and personal, he has lost, like in something in next level or something like that. And not taking credit for him.
And even
it's the experience.
Sorry to cut you off, but even like in stuff with the E-League thing, the E-League thing was still in a little studio. Nice, relaxed kind of environment. It wasn't a giant stadium in a giant stage, knowing that you're gonna be on TV, not just being streamed. It's crazy.
His mom was there.
His family was there.
So I felt bad for him, but then again, I'm happy for him too, because this is such an experience for him. That's gonna make him. He's stronger, man. It's gonna make him so strong that these people have to be worried about next time.
I was getting into my boss and I were talking, because he plays Street Fighter as well.
Nice.
And I was telling him that, you know, like, that day he definitely got out class or whatever, and let his emotions get the best of him. But he's still young. He's gonna be growing to the point where he's gonna be as experienced as Tokido one day, you know, like he's still got like 10 years in him before his reactions start turning to shit like ours.
Yeah,
you know,
before the crowd doesn't even face him, and he controls the crowd.
Yes, you know, and he's got a lot of time. If you know all goes well and he decides to stay playing this game, he's got a lot of time and a bright future ahead of him.
I don't see why not he shouldn't. He definitely knows. He likes the game. He likes to boost around the game, and he has a lot of potential, man. This kid has a lot of potential, and it's not because he got a couple of lucky wins. He's very structured and consistent.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed. I want to say something about the Street Fighter. I think it was the top 8. Kazunoko was in top 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not sure if you noticed when this was televised by ESPN2, and at the same time that it was happening on Twitch. And ESPN also has some rules for streaming. You know, they cannot be cursing. There's no, like you mentioned, there's not going to be stream monsters in the chat. You know, it's going to be unprofessional or anything like that. Which is a good showing for Capcom and the fighting game community. But there was a match Kazunoko was doing, and he was playing, and he's a Kami player. And he had the default outfit for Kami, which is the leotard thing that she used, camouflage. It shows a little bit of her butt cheeks and stuff like that she always has in Street Fighter 2. That's been her default costume. And one of the organizers approached him after the first set that he did. He actually won. That's it.
Yeah.
And they approached him like, hey, they told him something. And then the next match we see, the commentators, James Chen, was like, oh, he's going to get a change of character because they didn't know what was happening. And then you see Kazunoko like confused, and then out of nowhere he changes to a DLC outfit.
Yeah.
Which is this very flamboyant thing. She's still wearing
wearing
no pants. She has like a little short thing.
Yeah, still no pants, but
Correct.
It's like a little dress with a little
like
fur,
scarf.
like a little fur scarf over her.
She's going out. She's going out, but with more clothes. And I was like, no, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was in awe. Nah, it can't be, it can't be. And I start reading, and then I start looking. It was blurred out on ESPN live. While
Censored.
Cammy,
Censored out.
blur, like pixelated when she was in the match. And I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. And so I do a little bit more investigation, and this is what it said. So this is actually from Kotaku. I got it from some sources from Kotaku. They were asking about it. And it says like this. Kazunoko agent confirmed to Compete. Compete was one of the people reaching out. That the costume change was a request from the EVO staff. He said he was asked to change the costume by the tournament organizer, and he's not sure why they asked him. Which I'm gonna stop there before I continue. That's also a thing you like. What's happening? I just won. I'm doing this. Now I'm concerned. That throws you off.
That
Not to say like an
definitely
excuse
throws
or
you
anything,
off.
but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
throws you off.
Yeah.
You know, somebody say what happened to Chris G when he was playing and somebody got into the stage and he could use that as an excuse.
I completely agree, because even if I'm in my house playing somebody online and Vanessa says anything to me, I get hit with a comment.
Yeah, because your focus gets
Yeah,
away.
my focus completely for like that split second
Yeah.
gets completely away from what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and now think about that. That's a split second. Now think about that. They make you make a decision that you see in it, and every time you see it, you're gonna think, "All right, I have to change that. All right, I have to change that." And maybe it could be distracting for you. Maybe the outfit is distracting for you.
Yeah, maybe you don't like it, but now
correct.
you have to wear it.
Correct. It's like like if you're sponsored by something and you need to do it without even liking it.
And that's something that I thought was kind of weird, because like if they know there's outfits like that in the game, and they know that there's a chance that it'll be televised, why can't they preemptively go to the top players and be like, hey, you happen to play this character, this skin, we're going to be airing it on TV, we'd prefer you to pick something else.
So yes, which goes to my next point. It says Compete reach out ESPN. They reach out to ask whenever the costume change was due to the fact that it was too revealing of a nature of Cammy Tong Leotard, and ESPN representative confirmed that the request was made per broadcast standards. Very vague, very straightforward though. So if you ask about that, that means, hey, we have some standards, some terms and conditions that we have to meet to televise something. And this is the disconnect, right? So I'm going to take a little bit of time to explain this. So the game is T14, right? Most sports are for teenagers, right? And higher. Most sports. Televised.
For everybody, basically.
Well, yes and no, but
if you're going to say most people can watch it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like they have, like, bad language or anything like that.
Correct. That's what I was going to refer to, because it's because, let's say, football, maybe some kids think it's too aggressive. I don't know. I'm not into judges of that. But at least it goes into standard. Nobody's cursing. Or if they're cursing, they try to move that away from the camera. Or if there's a fight, they try not to put much commotion in it. They try to make it as family-oriented as they can. And I do get the fact that maybe the costume can be too revealing, right? It's a swimsuit, I guess. That's too revealing. Right? If you want to go into standard, right? I'm not even going to my opinion, because I know that's not my opinion.
I have a counter to that, but keep going.
Correct. I know that's not my opinion and everything. But what it contradicts this whole thing is ESPN, which is a sports, I don't know the acronym, but it's a sports channel for multiple sports, for multiple things. And they have a magazine also for ESPN Illustrator. It's very famous, very popular around the world, broadcasting multiple stages in the big billboards, and it's shown everywhere, where every kid can watch it and every age can see it. And they have multiple things. They also show the Olympics games, right? Which is every 4 years, and they have every other game in there, right?
That was my counter. Keep going.
So they have the Olympic Games. So and let's make the exception. Olympic Games is a one-time exception because it's every 4 years. But they have other games. They have other sports. They have women volleyball. They have women volleyball indoors. They have women volleyballs outdoors in the beach. Well, guess what they use? They use a bikini. It may not be a thong. It might not be all, just for the argument purpose, it may not be up their butt. But in between the game, it goes all the way up, and it gets camera, and it gets everything.
They have to adjust themselves, all that stuff.
And that is in camera.
Even with stuff like racing.
Yep.
The guys, if you watch, they slow-mo and everything.
You know, they don't got jock straps or anything.
Nope.
They got stuff flopping around everywhere in those leotards.
Mm-hmm.
And they got girls doing like what, the long jump and gymnastics and all that stuff. And it's weird too, because sometimes it's like, you know, underage girls, and
Yes.
you could get into the realm of pedophilia,
Which is really bad.
like that. You know, that pedophiles can tune into this
Just to
because
watch it.
because there's girls in tight little things and stuff
Yep.
like that. Like it gets to a point where like these are real people doing this.
Humans.
And you're blurring out a
Pixels.
fictional character
Yeah. That it was...
that's dressed basically exact
video.
same way that big sports stars
Yeah.
or celebrities or figures or whatever you want to call them are seen in
And glorified.
all the time. And glorified in,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Because, and not to take anything from those athletes, right? They're great and they do all this stuff. But if it goes into a little bit of inconsistency with ESPN. ESPN also, when I was mentioning, they have the magazine, right? In the magazine, they have multiple covers into what? Into, you know, girls in bikinis.
Yeah.
And because, of course, it grabs to a guy's attention. Anything, hey, let me see this magazine.
Yeah.
They literally have a recent latest issue. It's a girl climbing, butt naked. Climbing, and all you see is all her back and her butt completely naked, and she's climbing like something, wall climbing, whatever. Literally, that is the issue. That is the cover of ESPN
Yeah.
Illustrator. But you're saying that you are following streaming, you're following broadcast standards. Which, if you think about it, broadcast standards, then Twitch shouldn't be able to stream it either.
Well,
Because if it's actually Twitch, will have more of a strict than TV does. In TV, you can literally get away with more stuff that you could stream. And I know how many things you could get banned in real life on Twitch because of streaming things that you do.
Yeah.
You can even, not to say that, you can even twerk on Twitch.
Yeah.
If you twerk on Twitch, your channel is banned. Fully closed twerk in Twitch, you get banned.
yeah, I found that out the hard way.
So there's a lot of inconsistency in that a lot of people were reacting. Let me just read you some of the stuff that they said.
Before you
real
get into that, you know what what actually makes me curious?
What?
Knowing that Disney XD aired the same grand finals, I would like to know if they actually blurred it out as well, or if
Bayonetta?
well, not Bayonetta, but like the Cammy thing. You know what I mean? Like if they actually also blurred it out because of their standard, or if it was just aired regularly, and then you know you see it if you're watching through Disney, nothing's happening, but the guy's coming up and he switches his costume, but it's not like it was censored or anything, or if they found anything wrong with that.
It just is it frustrates me a little bit, and I get it, and America always being a little bit different, and this is, some people say it, so I read mixed comments, right? Some people are saying, oh yeah, just American, trying to justify to see a girl in bikini in a video game, whatever, you nerds or whatever. But these are the same people, they're okay, when everybody should be okay, right? We're watching a female athlete wearing whatever is needed to do the thing that they need to do and still be televised, right?
Yeah.
So one of the comments says, oh yes, the same standard that will air beach volleyball coverage and gymnastic, like we said, but God forbid a video game character wears a leotard, right? And just to follow on that, Ono knew that this game was gonna be for televised and even for competitive gaming, which is gonna be televised, that was the idea of this game, which they made patches to remove certain angles on certain characters like Cammy or Mika
Yeah.
to not be too explicit.
Yeah.
And you know, I had this conversation, oh, that's stupid and whatever. But then you were like, look, they're trying to cater it to this. That's why they're making this thing. And yeah, I get it. Some poses may look different and whatever. But the game was catered for that same purpose. So this doesn't happen. And we still get people change their outfit because of this. So what about Laura? Laura won't be able to play her because she's showing all her chest.
Well, what I was thinking was,
Zangief?
I'm wondering if there's going to be a double standard because Zangief is basically in underwear.
Urien.
And if you do Urian's little
Yes.
code thing to make him in just his little panties,
Yeah.
you know, like would they have blurred that out?
Yeah. Or Ryu with no shirt.
Or sexy Ryu's
Sexy
just
Ryu.
too hot for TV Ryu now.
Yeah, correct. Or maybe some people are saying when Chun-Li was there, maybe she's too thick for TV. They were saying, or you
Yeah.
know, and it gets to the point that people are already disappointed and discouraged about it because of there's not clear communication. If that was clear, like you mentioned from the standard, this character won't be blah blah, then people can burn the troll from prior of EVO and they accept it when it happens.
Yeah.
Don't do this in the middle of a tournament, of a grand tournament, you know. And there's a lot of flame, dude, that went through this, dude. A lot of flame that went through people complaining about it. But yeah, that was my 2 cents. I could definitely go forever on that, but Just want to make sure that you know that.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's like
It's the fact that I think that character got affected by it. Katsunoko got affected by it.
Yeah, I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it. If there's an American in top 8 Evo Japan this year, they should do that to him.
They should do a mod PC and have them all naked. What now?
Can you switch to the special Evo Japan outfit with the hentai tentacles?
So I'm quite. Question: DOA, was it stream on TV?
I have no idea.
Because I know it was on Twitch. Remember when DOA was on Twitch? And I know they did the rule and they said it prior. You cannot use any sexy costume, but it wasn't more of a.
The one that was the jiggly one.
But they mentioned something very strategic about it. They say, hey, you cannot use this costume. You can only use the full costumes and no bikini costumes because they might be distracting for the players. And why? Because the design of the game was meant for that.
Yeah.
So they're literally putting concept in, as stupid as it sounds, they're putting concept into it. But for somebody to tell me, hey, it doesn't meet broadcast standards, but you are broadcasting this as an everyday basic. You see guys after the locker room game or basketball, you see LeBron James with no shirt, putting water on him and everything. Yeah. And you know that you go by a standard of sex sales and you can't do that? Come on. No. It's very primitive and I don't like it. Go ahead, sorry.
So Gutex was a little awkward at the end.
Very stiff.
He looked like he had a neck problem and he was drunk.
He was high.
Well, yeah.
In some type of something. In some Nerf pill or something.
Yeah, he looked like I don't know. And at some points he looked like he was like a 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
Because he was like, Mago, where's Mago? And then he's turning around actually looking for Mago. And we're like, where did he go? Where did Gutex go in his brain right there? Bring Grandpa back. Put him on his chair.
And even if you try to make it as funny, or where's Mago, you literally looking for him. Like, where are you going to find in a sea of people?
This was like he's there, gonna come on stage.
A spotlight on him.
What's happening? So he could just wave at.
And then you gotta wait for him to come to the stage after a million of people coming. That awkward.
And then Gutex will ask him a question again that he'll speak too fast in English, and then he'll respond oddly.
I like that he give him give him the chance to speak in his native language.
Yeah, that was cool.
Super cool.
That was super cool.
What about that message he said? Grown men crying, man. Fighting games are whatever beautiful or something like that. He said that he made James Chen.
He made James cry.
He made me fucking. Oh my God.
Apparently, Seth Killian was crying on ESPN.
It's amazing.
Punk was already crying because he lost, but
I think it was great.
But James cries all the time.
But that's good though.
I feel like hugging him every time. He's like, all right, here you go, buddy.
This is a young. He was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do.
Here you go. Let me give you a little pat on the back here, James.
Oh man, and that's great. That shows emotions,
but
man.
It shows, but it's one of those things like people will not know, especially because it's not a typical sport, how much it takes out of you to be in this in a competitive way.
Mm-hmm. Like how you see the guys when they wear the world champion, anything they're crying, you be like, it's a video game. They're not. These people are spending all their time, their life, money, and yeah, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. But what makes more sense is the commentator. A commentator is there to tell other people that don't know about it and give them all this emotion about it. And he's reflecting that emotion. He cannot fake that crying, dude. He was literally in tears. He put his hand because he couldn't even finish the sentence. And that was awesome. I thought that was awesome, man. And Maximilian said a comment. He was like, if you love something, if you're passionate about something and you don't cry about it, you're a bitch about it. He said. Yeah. And that's true. It's true. That's why I was like, yo, Punk, just cry, whatever. Do whatever you gotta do, man.
It hurt.
What are
you gonna say? Like, why, yo, man, what were you crying? It hurt, man.
That's right.
I wanted to win, I didn't win, and it hurt.
Yeah, that's right. Speaking about those grand final last moment comments and things, do you saw MVCI? Ultimate Marvel.
Infinite.
Jipes and Persia, they were commentating at the end.
And they kissed.
Yeah,
they do that a lot. That's a little weird.
Yeah. And not because I'm awkward. Ooh, they're kissing. It's just.
It feels like it's something you shouldn't do on a professional sense.
There you go. Even if you do a hug. A hug will be better.
Not even because
people hug. Guys hug.
Here's the thing. They've been together for a long time. They can wait to do that. You know what I mean?
But it didn't feel like he was waiting. Like, he already staged it. Like, he
Yeah.
had his hand here,
Yeah.
and she was still talking, and then she gave the tap kiss, and good night. It was more like, already, I was like, oh, man, are they going to do it again? Like, I didn't want them to do it.
Yeah.
I was like, are they going to do it? No, don't do it. Oh, they did it.
Yeah. So come on, man. This is like, both of you guys are like being really professional about it, but in that moment, it just kind of, nobody else does that.
And even if you want to make it, oh, that's their thing. I don't know. Maybe call me old-fashioned, man. Call me ESPN. But I don't think it's the right place to do it.
I don't think so either. I'm on your
It
side.
feels tacky. It feels unprofessional. Dude, nobody's
Like
gonna
even when Vanessa come, like every now and then, like when I was a supervisor in my old job, when she used to come in and she used to get mad because I didn't want to give her kisses.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm like,
yeah, you
on
work,
duty right
do
now,
your
right?
job. Yeah, correct.
And like, but you know,
I was gonna say that, like, even if maybe they're doing it, hey, you know, we're a couple. People don't know we're a couple and stuff like that. It's okay for people to not know that. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay for people to know that. Wow, those two commentators, they were amazing. They were in sync. Oh, wow, they're together. That's better. Then, oh, why they kiss? So then I want to see James Chen and Sajam kiss.
yeah. How come they didn't do it?
Why
I
did
want
he
to see
kiss?
that.
Yeah, like,
He was crying. He needed a
He
kiss.
definitely needed.
He needed a kiss and a massage.
Yeah, that guy went through something. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how to. If somebody has to say something.
I mean, you know, sometimes people do things because maybe they did it once and they had a positive reaction.
You
So
think
maybe-
somebody will get a positive reaction out of that?
I think it'll be mixed with how toxic the community is.
Do
No
you-
matter what it is, it'll be mixed. Like,
Will you feel, not you, but will you feel, you as a producer or whatever like that, you will get a positive reaction out of that? I don't feel. I'll feel that I would.
if I'm in need, if it depends on how much they need somebody to commentate at their level, you know.
Okay.
And
If you allow it, if you allow it.
Yeah, like if you're a big dog going, but everybody loves them and they're good at their job, so I guess I gotta hold that 1 second of
Until people make a letter about
unprofessionalism.
it. Then my children
But-
was watching TV.
But if I was his boy, I would have asked him
Oh,
like,
yeah,
"Yo,
bro,
dude,
stop."
why you doing that?"
Yeah, me too.
Yo, and then just get into, at least ask him why, and then I'll make my own decision about it. Just be like, "Well, I don't think so, dude. That's
Me
kind of
neither.
weird."
Yeah. And that's what I say, give a hug. Give a hug. If regular guys hug when they finish a stream, yo, whoa, whatever, da-da. So give a hug to the
Or
girl.
just wait.
High five.
Dude, they were off air in like 5 seconds
Seconds.
after that. Just wait.
Yeah.
Like, wait till the camera's off and be like, "All right, baby, that was good." Mwah, mwah, whatever, you know? Like how me and you do.
I was like, wait, they're going to think we actually did it because the mom. They're going to hear the microphone.
Yeah, we podcast cheek to cheek all the
Oh,
time.
no, like this.
So before this gets too long, let me keep it going.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that was those were all the important top 8s on EVO. If you want, you know, if you missed out, you have any interest off of what we said and watching them, YouTube has a bunch of these things up from multiple channels. Just pretty much write EVO 2018 top 8 or grand finals, and any game will pop up.
So, and don't forget, of course, next year it's going to happen again for
Yeah.
Evo.
So let me go into real quick with my the predictions I had made.
Oh, okay. How accurate they
in
were.
the top 8 predictions. So tied 7th was Shanghai.
Okay.
He actually got 25th place. 7th place Valoran. He actually got 9th. 5th place Bonchan. He actually got 9th. So they both of those guys just missed
Close. Think I didn't bet.
top 8. Oh yeah. Punk I put 5th. He had got 2nd. Snake Eyes 4th. Fudo 3rd. Both got 65th place. Cian I had for 2nd place and he got 49th. And Knuckle
You were
Doo
crazy.
got 5th place.
You were crazy with Sion.
Nah, I mean he's been doing good.
Yeah, great.
He's been
You were
doing better
crazy.
than fucking Tokido and I don't
PR
know.
Rock?
I wouldn't put PR Rock in top 32, but he didn't.
Yes.
He didn't.
Oh no, damn it. 65, right? Something like that.
All right, so I came up with a little game that I want to play with my co-host here.
Okay.
So we're leading into this based off of what you were saying.
Okay.
You know, esportsy, getting all PR friendly
Yes.
and all that stuff. So as I was doing all the footwork for all of these, you know, like the top 8s and all the brackets and all that stuff, when I was picking my top 8 predictions and getting all the data ready,
Mm-hmm.
I was
looking at certain names, and I'm like, maybe I could do something with this because this is like a reoccurring theme with some of these pools.
Okay.
So this is gonna be, but I'm gonna call it top 10, but I have it randomly in a jar. So it's not necessarily gonna be a top anything. It's just 10 names I picked out that would be terrible to be announced as an EVO champion on esports.
Wow. Terrible.
I'm gonna.
I don't even want to paint.
All right, let me set it up. All right, you ready?
Okay.
Ready? Go take one. Be ready to have one paper in your hand.
One.
All right.
I have one.
So your 2017 EVO champion is
El Cu. El Culero.
You didn't even say it.
Say I read it.
Say it in your normal voice.
I'm done. El Culero.
What is that?
What the?
Can you
the
please?
big butt?
Can you translate that for the Americans?
The big butt. Why he will be a champ? Bro, that threw me so. I was like, am I reading this? And it's in Spanish too, so I'm like, what is my mind messing with me? Oh man.
Wait, let me start up again. And your 2017 EVO champion is
Chin nuts. What? What? Yo, bro.
Chin Nuts, everybody.
That's crazy.
Let's keep it moving. And your 2017 EVO champion is
Innuendo. Innuendo. Oh, like
that's like, you know,
innuendo. Yeah.
like an innuendo. Nobody's gonna want people,
Innuendo, the
thousands
champion.
of people going innuendo. Like what kind?
Innuendo. Oh no.
Is it a dick innuendo? It's like the most dangerous kind of name because it gets people thinking.
Open to anything.
And your 2017 EVO champion is
Sweet.
that was actually
Sweet meat.
that's Vanessa's favorite for some reason. That one's the one that made her go, "Hey,
Bro,
yo!"
This one
Sweet
throwing me off.
Your 2017 EVO champion is
Tus nalgas. Oh, this is the friend of the culero. Tus nalgas. 2017.
KOF
Yo,
champion.
They put a lot of work to Tus nalgas.
And your 2017 EVO champion is
Adventure Balls. Why has a Christian cross here?
I fucked up in the words, alright? Adventure Balls, everybody. Can't mess up writing. 2017 EVO champion is
Tentacle Hentai. Yo, that's for Pro Japan Pro.
he's going to EVO
He's
Japan
definitely winning.
and winning.
Tentacle Hentai.
And your 2017 EVO champion is
Whole Train.
woo woo. And you get to do
Can't
it.
stop
Woo,
this
You
train.
can't stop the whole train. How many you got left? Let me see.
I think 3 more.
Okay, yeah, you got 3 more. 2017 EVO champion. Congratulate
DJ Busta Nut.
DJ Busta Nut.
And it's Bust a Nut. Like
Yeah, it's
like
like you can't even hide it. And everybody ready for their 2017 EVO champion.
Dumb, stupid, fat guy. Wow. Flo, stop.
Imagine that. Imagine
That would be so hateful.
Imagine.
But it's an acronym. It's DSFG.
No.
And they were like, what is it for? He was like,
DFSG. That's your name. Oh, then maybe they'll force him to use his real name for top 8 or something.
and it's a whole list of
It's like, all right, so this is like really accurate for you,
We
right?
gotta
But
put
we
it-
need to call you by your name.
Sir.
This is the last one.
Yes, sir.
And your 2017 EVO champion is.
I don't want to say it.
Let me see. What is it?
We're going to skip that one. So
You sure? All right, guys.
we're going to skip that one.
So, to be fair, you know, I'm not saying that these guys will never be EVO champions or whatever. It's just.
No, we're not. We're not.
It's just.
We're going to leave a mystery.
To be. I mean, to
Leave
be,
a comment to know who you think it was.
to be accurate, most of these guys didn't make it out of their pool, so maybe they do gotta change their name. I don't know. So we're gonna get into the developer announcements over the weekend.
Yes.
If you're ready to jump on,
I do.
we're gonna start with Square Enix.
Okay, we see ya.
Dissidia,
Yes.
Final Fantasy NT,
I know you're gonna start with Dissidia. Shit, I
You got any news on that?
So the beta, you can sign up for the beta.
I only got one bit of info, and I'll say it after.
So horrible presentation in terms of where they did the presentation. The video was great. They couldn't have a good mic and a good camera, so they used an alternate camera. It looked like a phone camera and mic. So everything was very hollow, echo. The stream was making fun of it because they only could hear laugh and clap. So they were like, yeah, get hyped now that they're clapping. But the video was really cool. And then whatever they were saying, you couldn't understand anything. Literally, not even making it up, being a diva. Oh, I can hear. You couldn't understand. It was very echoey. So we didn't know what was happening until they did a next video, which was like two of the producers of the game telling you about the beta. And hey, you can sign up for the beta, which is a closed beta. Square Enix, you have to have a Square Enix account. And it was fantastic. And they show a little video again of the game, and that you could understand. Even though it was in Japanese, you could still understand what they were saying because it had a subtitle.
And the better stuff was not at the panel.
Correct.
Or was it at the panel? It was just after.
The panel, the better stuff was a video about telling you, hey, this is what we're gonna have.
I didn't know if you meant that they showed a better video at the panel, but it cut to like a different feed or something.
They cut to a video of them telling you something that was pre-recorded about a video.
So panel sucked, but
very bad.
Other stuff
was fantastic.
Announced after that was better.
Which is good. And they had Justin Wong and K-Brad play a demonstration of the game, which was pretty cool. I think that was cool. People, you wouldn't think about it, but they're fighting game icons, so people want to see them.
They'll figure it out. Yeah. Justin Wong's known for figuring stuff out.
And people want to see them, so So great friends, and that was great. Yeah. What else we got for developers?
We have Arika.
Okay. So that's a Street Fighter EX, as you well know back in the days. Independent producer now making it a comeback again. Because people claim they like the game and they want it, so he's giving something that they want.
Yeah, it originally came out as a April Fool's joke, but it turned out to be something that people got really hyped about. And I don't know if it was because they got hyped that it ended up not being a joke, or if they just decided, we're doing this, but let's release it as an April Fool's joke, see what happens. So
correct. And that would be the best idea for it. If it doesn't get much attention, then F it, It's an April joke.
Oh, by the way, I forgot my bit of information for the Dissidia.
Yeah.
All EVO attendants were given an access code to the closed beta.
I didn't know that. They didn't say that in the... Well, I guess I couldn't hear it. Because I couldn't...
I don't know when they gave it out or when or whatever, but everybody that went to EVO that was an attendant, like a person that was a fighter, they got an access code to the closed beta.
And it's a shame that the presentation was like that because everything else that they shown, the videos, the combat, everything, the gameplay was great. Music, vocal post trailer, everything was good.
Yeah.
Just it sucked the presentation of how they said it.
So where were we with Arika?
So April Fools, they made it a game. They had an actual gameplay of it, like people could play the game. I guess in this EVO, and there's a lot of gameplay now in YouTube about it. I don't know how I feel about the game. A lot of people are saying this is a Street Fighter 5 killer because it's a 3D game and it's Street Fighter moves and stuff like that. I really disagree with that. But I'm still happy it's another fighting game. There's another fighting game there. More people playing. I'm happy about it.
So basically, what they announced was release of 2 new characters, which is Skullomania that people just get hyped for, no matter who mentions this. Or somebody's gonna get hyped for Skullomania, who was in the EX series, and Darun Meister, who was the grappler that kind of was countered, like the rival of Zangief in that game. He still has his crotch grab.
Absolutely.
It sounds crazy the way I'm saying. I'm just saying it's like a grab that he uses his crotch to propel you.
Yeah. He did the move right now. You guys can't see it, but he did it.
Yeah, I'm just on the floor showing David. He's bouncing up and down on me, Sark. So what they also said was most likely the game will be released on April Fool's 2018 in PS4, simultaneously released in United States, Europe, and Japan, and that there will be a beta test before the end of 2017. So moving on to Bandai
Namco.
Since I fucked that up, let's go to Arc System Works.
All right.
So Arc System released a Jubei trailer, which has been a character that's been
in the background
Yes.
of all the story mode for Blaze Blue, right?
Yeah, very acclaimed. People, a character they always wanted because in the story he's very powerful. So everybody will release him, and they release everybody else but him.
Yeah.
And they release another character similar to him around the story, but not him. So people were happy, but not that happy.
Yeah.
And now the presentation, how they did it was so good, man. Blaze Blue Finals, they finished. Big stage, big screens, and they showed this fantastic trailer. Little bit of Japanese story in the beginning, and then they show the character doing multiple moves, supers, good combos, and the crowd is going wow. The crowd is going nuts. And I'm gonna try to show you. There's a video of it. I'm gonna see if we could put a link in our YouTube link also.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy in the bottom right going nuts. Literally nuts. Like he's headbanging. He's going. He was waiting for that character.
Did he have like his cat in Jubei cosplay?
He
in his
must
hand?
have, or his cat is named Jubei in some sense. But he was definitely happy, and that's the type of reaction we want to see.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great demonstration for the trailer, and then they segued to something even better.
Yes, which was Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle.
I can't believe that.
And this is crazy
I can't
because
believe it.
you and I talked about this years ago.
Yes,
Back when you were trying to get me into Blaze
you know how
Blue.
hard I've been trying to get you anime games.
And then I liked actually the Persona
Persona, you
fighting
actually
game.
liked it, yes.
And that's when we started talking about like the crossing of platforms, since we're not getting a Capcom SNK, but we really like Capcom SNK. And Street Fighter X Tekken was a bust for us. It just felt like such a good idea, you know?
This is... I don't know how I can even explain it, but...
So to explain, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, they showed a trailer, and it showed Ragnar, Blood Edge from Blaze Blue.
Yep.
It showed Naru Kami from Persona 4. Under Night In Birth, they showed Hyde Kiddo. And from RWBY Ruby,
yep.
They showed Ruby Rose.
Yes!
And the trailer's cool because they're like, they're showing them one by one. Then it does some crazy cross tag battle thing, and then all four of them are going all anime in the screen at the same time. I'm like, I can't see it. I felt like I was too old. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Because so much stuff happened.
Yeah, there's too much going on.
But you're not gonna tell me the presentation was awesome.
No, it was amazing.
After that, and then the girl goes like, in English, wait a minute, because by the way, this is from the RWYB is from Montium, remember? And Montium, he passed away, which was the great animator. And seeing his legacy pass after they had an animated series, the movies, the little things, and the games, they have actually games on PSN and Xbox, having been on the most anime games now up to date, which is those games that you mentioned, Persona, Blaze Blue, be part of that family now, that's huge, man. And that legacy is gonna live on. And people went going nuts with it because they have a side character, they have a girl with a side, they're talking about anime side fighters because everybody has sides and stuff like that, which is pretty dope. And I think the presentation was awesome. That's when people also lost it. They lost it even more. They were not
Yeah, it was just one like, okay, cool, new character. What? New game?
Bro, I was at work and I was telling you my phone was
going off.
Yeah. And now I go like this and Vanessa passed by and she's like, hey, you're not looking at your phone? I was like, no, what's happening? And she was like, oh, they're just showing these things. And you could ask, and that's just she asked. I was in the middle of the floor. I was like, what? And look, bro, I got goosebumps. Literally, I was trying to look, I'm getting goosebumps. And she kept showing me more stuff. And I was like, yo, you can't do this here. I'm literally yelling in the middle of the floor and stuff like that. And I'm getting excited also, too, thinking about it, because I think that's a dream match, dude. That is when X-Men vs. Street Fighter was announced. That clash, that was like, yo, that just
These
impossible.
Worlds, no way.
Fight clubs and what? That is exactly what that is, and that's fantastic. Super hype.
So yeah, that was Arc Systems. Now we're gonna get into. You gotta say the name because I messed it up.
For Bandai Namco.
Yeah, there you go. They released a trailer for Geese Howard for Tekken 7. And he's going to be coming out in the winter time. No specific date, but it's winter 2017. And he's going to come with his Geese Tower stage. They announced Trunks. They showed actual gameplay for Trunks.
For another game. So for Dragon Ball
Fighters,
they announced Trunks, yeah. Great presentation also how they showed it.
Both trailers were amazing.
Top notch. Amazing is an understatement. Especially the Tekken one.
Yeah, especially the second.
Especially the second one, not because I definitely liked the character and it was a surprise, but once again, the way how they present it. They show Heihachi, which I guess is alive.
In the trailer, yeah.
Right? And it's a bad guy. It's not a hero, it's a bad guy here to whoop everybody's ass, and he's showing how he does. Everybody loved what he was doing, and he looked good. Like
he looked.
It made me look like, why is this not a King of Fighter like this?
Yeah. Why isn't can Tekken make a King of Fighters, please?
That would be amazing. And it just looked great. I think it was the perfect choice. Everything about it fits perfectly.
And there's a lot of lore in that trailer too, because they're showing like they're opening the doors like his old boss fight, and they're they pretty much showed his parry like they did it for the trailer of him for King of Fighters 14 when he was announced. And him falling off the building at the end.
Fatal Fury from the first one. Yep.
Yeah, like stuff like that. It was a lot of fan service in that trailer.
And I hope they have the dead version of him skin. When his color. When you change his color.
Oh, that would be
cool.
He
looks dead. That
like
would
like how Tekken has you could have him regular skin or tan, like his extra skin.
So it would be that.
That would be amazing.
It's just so perfect. It's so perfect. Which I love. And the Dragon Ball one was fantastic. And they announced the beta with that.
Before you get into that, they actually recently released an extended trailer to the Geese.
Oh, really?
Where it's the same footage, but in the beginning it has Harada going to SNK's building.
Yes,
and they're choosing which character, and he picks up Raiden, and then it goes into the trailer, and then at the end the Raiden picture falls, and Geese goes, and then the SNK guys are like, yeah, okay, yeah, that guy, you can have him. It was cool. It was it feels like.
People are saying it was Morrigan because the leaks were it's a projectile character and it has air projectile character.
Yeah.
And you would not thought it was gonna be Geese.
Yeah.
Because you forget about that.
Yeah.
So good, so fucking good.
And then Trunks.
Trunks was fantastic.
They already literally the same day they had comparison for.
And they're 100%
for how he looks in the anime and the manga.
Dude, they're 100. Literally taken from there.
Yeah.
Step by step.
They're so iconic too, because I even remember every single pose. He was like, oh,
and it's not it looks like he's doing it. No, he's doing one frame per frame.
Yeah.
What he's doing, it's incredible. The amount of dedication these developers are putting into this, from other, taken from another character from another world, right? And they're making him look good. They do him justice. And then somebody like Trunks now, they're making him look like for fans. There's a lot of Trunks fans, millions of Trunks fans.
He's definitely.
And then look at how they're making him look incredible, And then they announced the beta, right?
Yeah, the beta is sign up starts at July 26th. It's gonna have 9 playable characters. Recently, within the last couple of days, Piccolo and Krillin were released in a magazine, so you see pictures of them, and you also get to see how the online lobby kind of is going to look for the game. So I'm pretty sure all that's going to be in the beta. I still don't know where you're going to sign up for the beta.
Yeah, not yet.
But when they release it, I'm going to be trying to get into that beta.
Maximilian Dude also on YouTube shows that he has a video that somebody translate what it says on those pictures.
Yes.
And he says a little bit more about what type of character are they, because the producer of the game said they're not gonna put a character that wouldn't be powerful enough to fight the people that are fighting there.
Yeah.
And if they're there, it's because they have something to contribute to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's fantastic, because once again we're like, oh, Mr. Seven fighting Goku, whatever, So let's see how they present that.
Yeah. All right. So MVCI had a weird kind of.
They did. So poor presentation.
Yeah, they had a. It was weird because it wasn't followed up by anything. I honestly thought after the exhibition match that F-Champ and Combo Feed had with the characters, I was like, all right, we didn't get to see all the characters, but there's gonna be a trailer, right?
That was the trailer.
And there was nothing. There's kind of Gamera doing stuff and missing her super, so you're twice going, oh, there's her super, but she didn't finish. And then there's what's his name? Jeddah was revealed, and it was a hype moment, yes.
Yeah.
But it's still not a trailer showing a trailer let's say Geese Howard's trailer that was
everyone
all
else
thought
did
out. Yeah.
How literally everyone else in the biggest place of fighting game, the Super Bowl fighting game, like you call it in the previous cast, the biggest scene, the biggest stage, and this is how you present your most potential money making game. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be honest with you. this presentation equals Capcom.
Yeah.
This presentation equals Capcom. Like right now, you're like, oh, that's super. I wanted to see what it would do. That is what Capcom's been building. They're building a what if. Oh, I wish this game was better. I wish it had this. I wish it had arcade mode. I wish the lobby worked or anything like that. And it's just not working. And yes, maybe do a presentation of actual gameplay. The idea was to show that the game is good. Look, I'm showing you the game is good. This game is fun. And it looked fun. Actually, there's people looking at the game more positive now because of everything they saw. But it still was so poorly executed. How it ended was even poorly. They just walk out of stage. They say nothing. Hey, expect this game, expect more characters to come from. Nothing. Why are you hiding?
Why didn't like Combo Fiend go up? Hey guys, expect more something from like even like hey San Diego Comic Con's next week. We'll have the game there. Come over there.
Try
have booth whatever. Blah blah blah. Try them out. We're gonna have that build over there. Like no kind of like extra.
Even if they go to less detail like that. Hey, if you enjoy this, you guys gonna be blown away by our next showing. Yeah. That's it. Doesn't matter if they don't do anything. It's still something. Give me something. Don't just have two guys play there, whatever they did, and then it looks poorly, missing combos like you mentioned. Actually, most of the older characters that we saw have more stage than the newest characters.
Yeah, there was like there's a lot of Chun-Li going on.
There's a lot of Ultron. I've seen him already. So.
Yeah. The Iron Man stuff was cool. Like I didn't.
But
see
we've
him.
seen Iron Man though.
Yeah.
The presentation,
not his face.
Correct. The presentation was about once again those characters, and it's just so poorly. Like it makes me think if you see this stage and that was great, then you see a presentation like Tekken, Bandai Namco, the Blaze Blue people. What is worlds apart, man? Mm-hmm. Like what are you doing?
And that's honestly what's getting people upset. It's worlds apart, but they're the ones that are supposed to be up top. They're the ones that brought back all fighting games with Street Fighter 4. They're the ones that are pushing fighting games into esports and into bigger realm, but they're lacking in so many.
And even if this is my opinion, but you don't know this is the way we present it. Look at the reactions of when they did the trailer for all the other games. People were going literally nuts, and understatement saying nuts. They were going. Nobody went nuts when they were seeing this Marvel. Yeah, that's it. But I'm dropping combos. Oh, there was no presentation story.
And to lead into what else they revealed, like, you're thinking about how the day went. The first thing was the Marvel stuff, which was okay. And then, then all the stuff we mentioned prior, which is, like, basically people going nuts over the Arc System stuff, the Namco stuff, the Eureka stuff was just whatever. But, like, people already had like, climax twice on information that they were these companies were giving them, and then at the end we get Abigail, which honestly, after seeing more footage of him and more screen time of him and all that stuff, I've gotten a little bit more used to how that character looks. But when that trailer hit and this big, weird looking, awkward, goofy character comes out that isn't something people were expecting, like, necessarily, it's like of course there's gonna be people that are hyped about it, but it's people that are like, oh look, he's gigantic, I play gigantic dudes, but that's not everybody, like
he's not appealing for the center stage.
It's not, because, and especially if that's all you have, one guy who's, in my opinion, probably one of the ugliest design characters that Capcom has ever had. And I was worried about that because when they did the leak, I'm like, okay, this is how he looked like in the 90s or whatever. I kind of don't like the way he looked. Hopefully they make him a little better. Technically, like, I've been looking at him more from a artist standpoint. I'm like, all right, obviously they wanted to emphasize how big he is by saying the dude can wear tires, bro. That's how big he is. And they wanted to emphasize with how Canadian he was by making his hair into the Canadian flag's maple leaf, and like even stuff like his face paint kind of resembles an M, and he's in Mad Gear. Like stuff like that. I get those little details, but he's still not strong. Like the stage is way better than the character. And I saw footage today, and it feels like he's a character too that, if they want people to get into the game, it feels like he's a character that people are gonna approach completely different than what they want, because it feels like, because he's so massive, it's almost gonna give people the same mindset. Like, if you're playing any character versus playing a Dawson, there's a specific way you have to try and play that character.
Absolutely.
Now there's this gigantic dude who shakes the ground and shakes the screen when he hits you, and he like does like weird random stuff, has like long limbs, and like I don't know if he's gonna be strong. I don't know if I highly doubt he's gonna be top tier, but I just feel like he's a weird character to approach for just the general public. The general public.
Especially like I said in the center stage, right? Look, the video reaction already had like 5,000 dislikes. And
Oh yeah, that too. There was like by the time I saw, there was like 3,000 likes and like 6,000 dislikes.
you know, and I get it, right? And once again, it's because this is a character that could easily be shown anytime, any other time. People were saying, hey, maybe that's the character they're gonna fool you to show, and then they show Hagar beating him up, and you thought it was Abigail, but it's not, right? But once again, this is people pay for a season pass for this, and they don't know what they're getting.
Yeah.
It's like if you're paying for food that you don't know what you're getting, and when you get it, you're disgusted.
And then you're like, yo,
Right.
it's so gonna be steak this time.
And it's not, right? And then, and so it's disappointing, and it's bad too for the people that pay for it. You literally pay for that, right? So
You have an option to not pay, but it's still, like you said, you don't know what you're getting all year, and this is like a yearly pass, basically.
correct. So if they wouldn't know, oh, I'm getting Abigail, let me see how he plays, then it would have been a different reaction. Oh, that's the character I know is coming.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, it's not this character. So doing it like this is a constant disappointment. Because you're still gonna, even doesn't matter who they show, you're still not gonna get that character you want. You're still gonna be disappointed.
That's why I said they should have just, if the leaks are true, because you know,
just show them, yeah.
because it's showing like Jeddah was leaked,
Yeah.
Banner was leaked, Abigail was leaked, and it's looking like a lot of the stuff they're doing is gonna be leaked. If it was leaked, then show all of them.
Yeah.
Show all of them at this point. Like, hey, this was Abigail, and then show fucking Guy's master kicking his ass.
You know how many theory would have been that they show Abigail, and then when they show the last thing, they show the last picture of the last two. That's it.
Yeah.
But they don't show you no gameplay or nothing.
just the
Theories,
picture.
they're gonna be talking about this game forever.
Yeah, and people are gonna be excited about it because
Now they know.
Because now they know, and they're like, okay, cool. Now that I was a Rose main, they're gonna kind of have a hybrid Rose.
Yeah.
And it's definite, so I can start thinking about that.
Yeah.
Now I used to play Guy. Now they're gonna have Guy's master, so he's gonna be like a hybrid Guy,
Yeah.
and I'm excited for that.
So now you know
instead
what
of just
yeah.
instead of just being completely in the dark when they're even coming out.
And if when they come out, it's not something you like. So Bum put something on his Facebook. I always forget his Twitter. I need to remember it. He put like, you know, Ono did the Shoryuken thing, right? He said this, right? And I quote, imagine Ono-san said, 3, 2, 1, put fists in the air and says tiger uppercut and reveals Sagat.
Oh my god.
That would have blown everyone away free, end quote.
Yeah.
Think about it. People be like, sure,
especially if he said it like, oh, everybody does the Shoryuken. You ready for the Shoryuken?
And then
all right, everybody put up your hands up in the air and say tiger uppercut, and then boom, straight to the trailer, and fucking Sagat's there.
And shut down the line, and people would have went nuts.
I mean, they can still do it.
They
But
can,
for the
but
next
at
season-
EVO. But how many EVOs they need to do it to get to that? This was the center stage
Yeah.
of it, and they lost that chance very poorly. It's just, the comments are ridiculous, dude. The comments. Let me read some wrong way of comment for you. That really blew my mind. It says, which is hilarious too, by the way. It says here. Let me show you. Capcom, we need to have a talk. You don't seem. This is from the guy's name, a Spooby Scaly Scary Man on YouTube. Said, Capcom, we need to have a talk. You don't seem to get how to improve your game image. This game has had bad rep since launch, but we stuck with it because we still care. And we've been trying to convince others that the game is better than they say. But when your EVO announcement is this, to Abigail, it really makes it hard for us to defend you. Plenty of other games make new characters so much more exciting, as we said, right? Why do you think this was a good idea? Why do you chose this, of all things, to be your big surprise for EVO, when most people will be watching? I thought we were getting better at this. And that guy hit the nail perfectly.
It's true, because it's like, they have a plan. There's an agenda, and they're following that agenda. But if they should be aware enough that they should probably skip a couple of steps in order to give the payoff to the people and be like, here, man, you guys have been crying for this.
Yeah.
we're gonna we forego, even if you're telling people we're gonna delay, the stuff's gonna be delayed just because you guys wanted this guy to come out so often, so we're gonna push him forward for you guys. We listen. We actually listen to you guys. Blah 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 blah.
Yep. And then somebody wrote here, what the fans want: Sagat, Sakura, again, Evo Rio. Okay, let's give them Abigail. And it just shows a disconnect with what the fans want to what they're providing.
Yeah.
And it's bad, man. And then another people put like, well, I'm done, Capcom. And when you get those things, it says Geese Howard is in Tekken, Yu Nakurami in Blaze Blue, Jack 7 I guess is in Street Fighter 5 because that guy looks like Jack 7.
You know what's funny? Will today, not today. Well, when I showed him the trailer, he actually likes the way the character looks because he likes wrestling, and he was like, "Yo, this dude looks legit like if the Hulk and John Cena made a baby." And when he said that, I was like, "Holy
That's
crap!"
crazy.
On the nail. Like it looks like both of those two dudes.
Somebody said, "Oh, look, the retarded cousin of Hugo."
Yeah.
And there's nothing good. Pretty much as bad as it gets. Are you fucking kidding me?
Honestly, any good comments towards the character was like, "Oh, cool, he's big. I'm hype. I'll play him," or like, "I'll try him out." Like it's not anything like.
The best thing I heard
super positive.
Hugo looks like a shrimp compared to this guy, but then he follows up with like, he does not look cool. He looks like some 5-year-old tried to draw Zangief. and it's so bad, it's so disappointing. I'm extremely disappointed, man. And if the game wasn't dead in that terms in the public, that killed it.
So information wise, Abigail, along with the Magyar City stage, Metro City Bay Area, along with nostalgic costumes for Ibuki, Alex, and Juri, and
if they don't get delayed,
and Ryu's Suzaku stage. Council stage will be available July 25th. Happy birthday to me.
Yo!
So I'll probably be buying the Ibuki stage. I saw that you can do the code, so you could take off her top, so she can have like a black top, thing. Like a training top or whatever. So honestly, I'm gonna buy it just because I want it, because it's something nostalgic, like people wanting Sagat. But Abigail, honestly, like I get the characters just to get the characters, but I'll probably be spending my fight money on the Metro City stage.
The stage is better.
Yeah. What also got released was the stage for the Capcom Pro Tour, and Knuckle Dude's Guile costume that he had designed for himself. So that got released. What comes with that pack actually is now it's the Ring of Pride stage, the one that's going to be released the 25th. The Champion's Choice Guile costume that's going to be the 25th. And what's also released for it is Ryu Ken costumes that were already released, and one extra color for every character of the cast, and monthly in-game fight money targets, and 2 titles for the Capcom Cup Pro Tour 2017, and all that is a little steep for $24.99.
So how
but
much
all
is that again?
A lot of the proceeds go to the Capcom Cup to help the Capcom Cup with whatever their events and all that stuff. Whatever money goes back into the Capcom Cup, but it's $24.95 for skins, and it's almost the price of the game.
No,
it's more expensive than the price of the game because it's $20
even with
now.
taxes.
Yeah, so you can get this, and it's more expensive than what the base game is now.
I don't think that has ever happened. Never has happened a game that still has a price point to obtain, that their DLC content is higher. The only time that happens is when it's a free game,
and it's much less than what the game has.
Yes.
It's not like it's like an expansion and it's double the game.
There you go. Correct. Exactly. You hit it on the nail. Exactly. You don't get like your money's worth. Right?
Yeah.
Because then again, that stage for the Capcom thing is definitely a reskin of the old stage.
Yeah.
It's just outside.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like I'm hyped that it's a sumo dojo, but
it's
like
not a ring.
Like it still has the same characters in the background,
yes.
And it was fine the first time around because it's like, oh cool, they put all the characters in the same thing, but now it's like a little different. Now it's like she's doing the same thing again.
Why not
And
make stages
it
from
needed,
Berserk?
and it needed like a little referee guy, since it's like a sumo. Like there's always a referee guy in a sumo thing, and they could have been following you around, like something different, like you know, something different for the stage. I would have rather just that one dude than all those extra characters that
Or every other
really don't mean anything.
every year they do release one of a nostalgic stage from Street Fighter. I know they're releasing Street Fighter 2. Do an Alpha 2. They have so many stages. Alpha 3. Do a Third Strike. Double Impact. That stage in the city that breaks into the not in the city and the jungle that breaks the bridge and you fall. You know, that's fantastic. The
You know,
bathhouse of Honda or
like
something like that.
the Capcom SNK stages. Like I liked a lot of those stages too. Like they have so many stages in their line of games that could be made, and technically they have been releasing nostalgic stages. Just you know,
For money. And it can't be like that, dude. It can't be you having a game that has DLC more expensive than your game when your game is not being successful. You don't get to ask for more when you're not doing good. You get to ask for more when you're doing good.
yeah.
Because people will do it. It just doesn't make sense, dude. And I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but I don't understand how people keep supporting this. I don't
Yeah.
get it. Like
And I honestly like when I buy certain things, I know it's because I'm playing the game and I want to use the stuff that I'm playing.
Mhm.
But I completely understand where you're coming
yeah.
from.
And even
Because I honestly like I'm doing that and I feel like an idiot every time. But it's like I want it. Like it's like
because you know
almost
they don't
like-
have your back. You know
Yeah.
they don't have your back.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And when Geese was released, you know, I've been because I think because of Street Fighter, I've been tentative to buy like any kind of season passes for anything. But you know, now Tekken Bowl's coming out that was announced, and Geese is announced, and I'm like, well, I'm really fucking hyped for Geese because I had him in my KOF game that I played for a week. You know,
awesome.
I had him in my team, but now I can actually play him in a game that I'm actually enjoying.
Huh? And they could have made it the Capcom route and not show you who it was. Maybe just a stage.
Yeah.
But no, they know that's not the right way to cater to somebody. That's not the right way to get you excited about your own game that is doing good. And they're not asking for much after that. You know, they have a season pass. This is what is coming in the season pass, and that's great. The character is coming not that soon though.
You know what's crazy? They're because of the way it was worded, people are thinking that Harada is not going to charge for any legacy characters that he releases, because he said that I can't remember the quote itself, but it's basically saying that it's looking like when the time comes, if legacy characters come out like how I mentioned Gon Ryu, or like, you know, people have been wanting Bruce Irvin and stuff like that they might actually be just free.
If they do that, they win this whole thing.
Yeah.
And not this thing like it's a competition, but they win the fans.
Yeah.
And that is the step to follow.
And he usually Tekken, like there was backlash at first because Tekken had this is the first time Tekken is getting any kind of season pass or anything like that. So the fans are like, season pass, blah 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 blah.
Tekken has
Yeah,
72
rah.
characters.
Yeah, but the way Harada put it was like, this is the only way we can continually support the title.
Nice.
To say that we're doing this, so even if we're doing this for the DLC and stuff, we can use our resources to do other things
To do
for
the
the
animation,
game.
to get time enough to do the animation.
But he actually said it
That's
to
awesome.
people.
That's incredible.
You know, he's actually communicating
That's
to the
incredible.
fans
That's
as to
beautiful.
why this needs to happen in case if you guys want a chance to get other things.
Wow. That is the way it's supposed to be. I'm telling you, this year is going to be Bandai Namco, which they're making a bunch of anime games. Bandai Namco is going to be filthy rich. Bandai Namco is, like to say it, is the new Capcom.
Right now, yeah.
In terms of RPGs, fighting games, and everything else they're bringing.
Yeah.
They're just flowing with money. The Dragon Ball games, the Xenoverse, everything on the Switch is going to be now. So they're just flowing with money, and they're doing the right thing. Because they're doing the right thing, constant communication. The social media page, all the time, they're posting something.
Yeah.
And they have people, they gave giveaways and stuff like that. What Capcom is doing? Taking your money and not giving you anything. No, they are.
Giving you scraps for the money you're getting.
Sometimes.
Well, I mean, that's all I got.
Yeah, me too.
Any closing, anything?
I'm definitely
any
looking
hype
forward.
moments from EVO you want to mention that we didn't mention?
No, I think we did. We did in the grand finals, we did. I enjoy a lot of in real life side tournaments that they were not broadcast. That I watched some of them. They were really cool because they give me like a scenario about the place,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. But
Infiltration's troll to Flo was good.
well,
So Flo says he has a curse in tournaments or whatever, right? So when Infiltration sat down to play against him, on his phone he had like the side-scrolling word saying Flo's curse, and he showed it to the stream, and Flo was like, you know, like with his mouth open, like, and then he looked at the camera, he was like, motherfucker, and then Flo lost. You know, so
probably did. He lost the moment he pulled his phone out. That's why.
I think that was a really good troll. Like it was in fun or whatever, but it was still like, you know, pretty good troll.
But other than that, was fantastic. EVO was great. I enjoyed it a lot. Most of the days I watched was Friday and Saturday, and looking forward for this beta's coming up. Is this gonna be downhill?
It just sucks because every year I watch enough of EVO, especially when it comes to the end and how emotional it gets. It's like, fuck, I'm not there again.
Yeah. We will get there. Double KO Radio.
Sure. Double KO Radio over there.
We'll be there, bro. I promise you that.
All right, guys. That was episode 3. We'll keep you posted on what episode 4 will be on social media because we haven't decided yet on what exactly it's gonna be. But David and I, we're friends and stuff, so we'll talk to each other about it.
Yep.
So you could be sure to follow us.
Yes. Where is it, Paul?
I'm
you were
giving
practicing. You're
this one to
supposed to practice this for the last podcast.
God. Please be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And now we're actually on Twitch. We haven't figured out what we're going to stream in Twitch yet.
That's going to be awesome, though.
But we have a Twitch now, and it's all on Double KO Radio.
That is correct. Oh, man, you did. You did your homework. No notes that help you at all, right?
That was tough. You know where my brain had to go for all of that?
Shout outs to producer for helping with the notes.
Shout outs to my producer. I'm going to kiss on stream.
Oh, you're going to do that?
Oh, wait. That's unprofessional.
But that would be
That's
me.
unprofessional.
Because
No. All right, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. See you next time.